Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto the charts, nice and early today for pre-market. If you're watching this in the future, I'm usually streaming for NYSE Open right into the open. We're getting these ones started nice and early, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, man. It is currently 7:45 on the dot. Had a couple connection issues trying to get something set up with OBS. Anyway, I'll save you guys that. Make sure you view us on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation. To do anything at all, make sure you always do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top of Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat, what's going on, man? Good morning. Good early morning to you guys. How are we doing today? How are we doing today, chat? Before I even get started, before I yap too much, somebody give me this heads up. How does this music sound? I actually was trying to check on the stream sound audio, and it was like super loud for my intro. I don't need to be blasting whatever this copyright-free dubstep is into your guys' ears at 7:30 in the morning. So just let me know if you could hear me clearly, and if the audio background music is overpowering. I could try to turn it down a little bit. Hopefully it's not so loud that it's blasting your eardrums. Let's see, chat. Good morning. Good morning. Marathon traders, good morning. Souls of Zero, what's up? Dwayne, what's up? Cyrus, what's up? Morning all. Good morning, Alan. You guys are all on here early. I got everybody. James, Jamie, Maritime Trades, what's up? What's happening, guys? Chris, Pam, Fast Money Formula, Eric, XOBY. What's happening, y'all? I hear the music now. I increased my volume. It's good balance now. Increased. Cool. Music is cool. I hear it softly. No music. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go like a little bit more with music. My mic, I think, is pretty loud. Should be able to hear me pretty damn clearly. Awesome. Yeah. If it sounded way off, I figured you guys would tell me, but I adjusted some stuff, and there's only so much that I can do myself as I'm streaming without like watching my streams after the fact and then finding out, you know, that something was totally completely wrong. So I appreciate that feedback. But yeah, guys, today is day one of some early streams. It is pre-market. We are coming into NYSE session in a couple of hours. I got some goals that I'm going to be trading. I got some goals that I'm going to be working on. Talked about some adjustments in my trading. Talking about spending some more time pre-market here with you guys. But first thing I want to do is the same way that I start my my NYSE streams, which is looking at YM. I am not coming off of YM. I'm not really going to be doing too much different in this Top 1 Futures pre-live account. I don't want to do anything crazy. If I'm going to try anything different, if I'm going to, you know, set some goals out to work towards a new edge, or at least developing more discretion, trading different instruments, trading a different style. I'm not going to do that in, you know, an account that I care about, right? I'm going to do that in either funded prop accounts, evals, you know, additional stuff. So I've got plenty of those loaded up. But first and foremost, the chart really that I chart on and look at and pay attention to every single day is up on the screen. This is YM on the 15-minute chart. This is a Top 1 Futures 15K live account. What you get moved to after you do well enough in the sim environment. We got Bookmap over here on the left-hand side. We do have YM, ES, and NQ Bookmap ready to be checked out. But let me go ahead and do a little bit of markup on YM here. So I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna clean up some of these zones. So really beautiful short. These are not hindsight levels. In fact, these are the levels from last week. These are actually all of the same levels. I don't think I drew another zone on my chart in like the last like 5 days. Obviously this is the 15-minute chart, so these do hold, but take a look at how cleanly this one was respected. And I'm not pointing it out to say, oh, I'm so great at drawing levels, look at how great I am, or whatever it is. I just like to point out the efficiency of keeping it stupidly simple, and instead of using 1,000 different crazy indicators, I literally just zoom out and I go, price action, market structure, we got some consolidation up here. Here's the all-time high. Where would I have to draw a zone? Right here. High volume node. Oh, big surprise. Price tapped that and then sold off 600 points. Take a look at this bad boy down here. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Obviously, we did trade past it by a little bit, but that's why it's a zone, right? It's not a line on the chart that I say price is going to stop to the point and the tick here. But absolutely beautiful. We traded into this. Maybe you got, if I was taking a trade off this, like I did yesterday, right into the 50s off of this, the middle of the zone. Maybe I took a trade off the middle of the zone. We traded, immediately 300, 400 points higher in a matter of a couple hours. And now, where are we? Right back to this middle ground here. Volume point of control from Friday. So, excuse me, from Monday, because today is Wednesday, February 4th. Is today Wednesday? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, guys. We figured it out. Don't worry. So, I am going to clean up these zones a little bit. We're going to get the pre-market analysis done, man. We're going to get our pre-market markup done. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? Oh, that session changeover right in here. It was just so tight, I didn't even realize it. We didn't even get a jump in VWAP. We really didn't get a move through session changeover here. We got 1800 to 1645. That is going to be yesterday. Tuesday's volume profile. Yeah, volume point of control, pretty close to Monday's volume point of control, where we're hanging out right now. We just came all the way back up and retested it, right in VWAP here through Asia and London into pre-market that we're in right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these two zones right here. But before I do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Let's go to the 1 hour, take a look. Take a look. Yeah, you guys are getting the full pre-market chart markup, which is another reason I like hopping on early, or I want to be able to hop on early, right? Main session NYSE is not for quite a while. I'm going to be taking some pre-market trades in some separate accounts. Probably can definitely take a trade in here if it looks really good. But it's going to allow me to get really cleanly set up for NYSE Open. So, and do it all with you guys live. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Reason being is we're trading at it right now. I don't need a zone like that we're trading at right now. I recognize that this is an area of interest. This is a high volume node on the visible range volume profile that adjusts back and forth. This one is very dynamic depending on how much price action and microstructure I'm displaying. This is going to change in real time. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. It's kind of just overlaying everything. I see the volume profiles here. It's also just not as cleanly respected as some of these other ones, right? Yes, we consolidated here a couple times. We tested here a couple times, highs and lows, right? But we've kind of bounced around through it, so I don't like it as much. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. And I'm also... No, I'm not going to get rid of this one. This one, we had some really clean tests. I remember watching it this day, and I didn't take this trade. This was so frustrating. Didn't take this one right off of the open. I'm going to leave that bad boy. Even though we really didn't respect it at all yesterday, we just traded directly through it, so that's not so clean. Like, yeah, we traded through it on Monday, too. I'm getting pretty nuanced here. I could go with or without it. I'm probably going to get rid of that one as well. I don't like it as much. It's pissing me off. You guys see that? I'm not even going to trail. Hang on a second. Let's just go with like super high time frame. Look at the 4 hour, how these are lining up. Even the daily sometimes can be really nice to look at. Yeah, I like this. We got a lot of daily closures. We had this prior all-time high back here from December. We've started to slice through it a little bit, but we've got daily highs and lows. We got daily high and low closes here. I don't mind this. I don't think it's a super strong zone. I would consider this to be much cleaner, top end of the range, this to be our all-time high, and then, you know, this to be much cleaner, you know, all the way down here to be a level that's been tested multiple times, kind of set in the low end of the range. This, obviously, way down. Once we're pulling this, we're really all over the map down here. But on... yeah, I think I'm going to clean this up as a whole. I still like this as an area of interest because it's an area of high volume, even though we've kind of diced through it a little bit. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this as well. So what did I get rid of? One zone? And I'm really not going to draw anything else. We've just been chopping back and forth here. You know, we're not breaking structure too much. We're really not doing anything crazy here. We're just putting this back and forth chop in, right? You know, it's not like some of this movement that we've seen, right? Where, you know, we're not doing that. We're pushing up, or we're selling off really aggressively. You know, we're moving. We're actually moving, right? Especially back over here. You can see how clean some of those big movements to the upside are. A lot of opportunity intraday here. Sorry, guys, not to make you dizzy on the 15-minute here. A lot of opportunity over here, back and forth intraday. But overall, like, higher time frame, very choppy. Not breaking above all-time highs and continuing. Not selling off and putting in lower prices. Just really trading in between what I would say is like a really, you know, big range if I was going to classify it. You know, primarily in between like a 1,200 point range here on YM over the last few weeks, right? Just objectively, we're not pushing higher. We're not pushing lower. You know, we're respecting the top end and the bottom end of this. Like we've seen this week so far, I pushed into the top of it, all the way up to the top, sold off really aggressively, got pretty damn close to the bottom, back up towards the top. You know, so do we break out and start to run? Maybe at a certain point. Maybe we go and test the 50,000 evens here on this, you know, Dow contract. We'll have to see. But for today, that's going to be my markup. Now, areas of interest. You know, if we blasted towards this high again, I would probably have to short it again because I got short in here and I took a nice W with you guys. Obviously, something that if I held all day would have been like $4,000 or $5,000. I would probably have to short this again, but, you know, I don't know that I would want to. The more that we hammer into this zone and put higher lows in, the more likely I think we are at least to break it, to try to break it, maybe to wick up here, take everybody out, just fill a ton of liquidity before doing something different, coming back in. So I don't know that I would want to be aggressively short the way that I was right off the open yesterday on YM here. But if I was going to short it, it'd be somewhere up here, right? This zone that I had marked, yesterday's high, you know, above yesterday's volume point of control, above yesterday's value area high, somewhere up here. But honestly, I really would prefer not to do that, to be completely honest with you guys. To the downside, looking aggressively long, somewhere in here, somewhere down below this zone that really hasn't been respected, that I still want on my chart for whatever reason, but probably down in here. You know, a test right down below this level, around the 49,200s, 49,150s. Is that yesterday's value area low? Yeah, yesterday's value area low is right at this area here. Not a whole lot of price action and structure down here, but if we sold off really aggressively, I'd be waiting for at least a 250, 300 point move to the downside to try to look to fade that for potential movement up. So far for this overnight session, and then we can move on to maybe NQ, taking a look at, well, we kind of got nerfed on silver and gold and metals. We'll talk about that in a minute. Top Step limiting everybody. Still open season with top one, but I'm assuming other firms are going to follow. 200 point range so far. 200 point range for the daily candle. This is very tight. Plenty of room to move to the upside and downside, right? You can use an average daily range, average session range from a number of different data providers, or you could just grab your measurement tool right over here, the way that I did. You could hit shift on your keyboard if you want, and you could use your magnet tool, and you can click to the top end of that candle that's forming, all the way to the bottom wick, and say, okay, 200 points. Well, what have we done the last 5 days? Okay, yesterday was an 800 point candle. Monday was a 1,000, almost 1,100 point candle. Last Friday was a 600 point candle, right? And then, why is this useful? I'll talk about. 700 point candle on last Thursday. You could just get a feel for it, right? What are we doing for these candles? Okay. Do I think that we're likely to stay in a 200 point range? No. Okay, great. Because of the average session range, average daily range is exceeding that by a long shot. If we push to the upside or downside, what could I expect? Well, if we go 600 points to the upside, that would be outside of this range, right? If we start pushing higher, I want to be kind of cautious, maybe getting short right in here, right? Unless I believe we're going to pop to just above it and then sell off. To the downside, got some room, right? We got some room to go. But in any event, even if we're going to just measure it equally, we got room to go to the upside and downside. Sometimes through Asia, London, we don't have a 200-point candle. We already have an 800-point candle, right? A really big movement. And we have to ask ourselves, is it reasonable to expect another 500 points in one direction to the upside or downside the way that it is today with this candle? Probably not. So you could do this on any instrument that you trade. You can look at, you can look at lower time frame candles, right? You can use an average true range, an ATR. Just so you guys know what an ATR is. Since we got extra time, we talk about it. I actually have it started on here. It goes down here on the bottom of your chart. And if I click to show what we have going on here, you can actually see the ATR is set automatically to 14, right? And what this is measuring is the average true range, the average range of the last however long you set that length for whatever time frame you're on, right? So the ATR right here, right, and this changes, obviously, as you could see, in real time as more information is printed and more information is calculated. But you can use an ATR similarly to what I'm doing with this measurement tool to get a feel for the average range on not just a daily chart. You can do this for the 15-minute chart, right? Maybe this is going to be useful for setting stop losses and take profits. You can see during NYSE session what the average ATR is, right? Maybe you look yesterday and you say, okay, NYSE session opens up on the 15-minute chart. We got an ATR, between like 80 and 90. I go back over here, similar movement or around 80, 90, right? Maybe you adjust for ATR being lower or higher during certain days where you say volatility's low. I can size up. I can tighten up stop losses, tighten up take profits. Maybe you say, hey, ATR is crazy high right now. We're moving. We got, tariffs. We got Trump talking. I need to size down and widen out. So just to talk about that, ATR is an indicator, but it is not a predictive direction indicator. It's not something that's going to help you know which way price is going or not going. It's just giving you the average range based on whatever your, set amount is. Again, I think it can be useful if you watch it on one time frame over and over and over again. I think if I was going to have anything else on my chart, and I do have ATR on my other charts, that's what it would be. But if you just, are comfortable measuring out, you can just measure out as well. But we could leave ATR on here for the rest of the day. And just so you know, it automatically over here is going to display what the current ATR is, which is like 40 right now for YM. But if you want to know what it was over here, you would have to look over here to the right hand side when putting your cursor over it, right? And that could be a little annoying to do. If you click to show all your indicators, which is annoying because it overlays, it does give you the data as you drag your your screen over here. Maybe you say, well, what's the ATR at 9:30 every day? 54, right? What's the ATR over here at 9:30? 73, because it shows it right here. So just a little note on something I noticed for ATR on TradingView and Project X. Average true range can be helpful for sure. We'll leave it on the chart for today. So, yeah, man, to the downside, looking past this zone here into the 150s, off of the open. Just gonna mark this with a, line. Maybe we'll use a blue line. No, that's going to overlay the, let's use something not so bright. How about we go with like a light colored line so I don't have to blind myself. Yeah, to the upside and downside, that's what I'll be looking at. You know, for an off the open level. Just roughly. Roughly. Cool. Chart markup done on YM. Ready to roll. Pondered it enough. Let's do some additional analysis, get ready, and take a look what we got on NQ. Maybe get some pre-market trades rolling. What's up, man? Awesome. He posted on Discord live schedule. Awesome. Starting early today. Yeah, man. Guys, hop in. I know. I'm so consistent with what I do that I know I'm going to trip everybody up. Not to, like, pat myself on the back, but I trade live here almost every single day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, like the same time, same thing every single day. So I know if I'm here a different time, I'm going to freak everybody out. But I try to make you guys aware on Discord. And there it is. If you're not in the 100% free trading Discord, there is the link. There is the Linky McLink link if you guys want to check it out. I also try to keep you guys updated across socials, man. You can follow me on IG, follow me on Twitter. I try to keep all those updated as well. So, we got some markup done on YM. Before we hop over to start looking for some scalpy style trades on NQ, which I'd like to do. We got some news coming up. We got ADP non-farm employment change at 8:15. That is during our trading time frame. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. And then we have ISM services PMI coming up at 10 a.m. So gonna have to be checking these out, man. A little bit cautious coming into 8:15 a.m. We'll have to see what that looks like. And then for this 10 a.m. time frame, we'll have to be cautious over here, man. So we'll look for some trades, but that's definitely reason for caution. Outside of that, let's take a look at financial juice, which I like as well. If it can load up for me. Appreciate you guys hopping on early, man. If you guys like the pre-market streams, man, I'm going to keep doing them. And I'm going to run all the way into NYSE Open, just so you know. Like, I'm still going to run all the way through normal trading time. We ain't going anywhere. I got some days off the desk coming up, and I got some other stuff that I'm working on trading-wise that I was talking about yesterday. Going on a generational run in prop accounts because that seems like it's what everybody wants to see. Maybe it's a little bit more efficient use of time day trading on the US indices. And I'd like to start to develop the skill of more aggressive momentum scalping to try to get involved in very fast-moving markets like we've seen on metals. But I don't think you can just hop in out of nowhere. I think you have to say, hey, that's not what I do right now. Do I want to start learning? Do I want to dedicate a lot of time to fail at that for a while before I start to get a little bit better and a little bit better and then maybe make it work? My answer so far is yes. So a little bit of an adjustment from my initial game plan coming into this year for trading as a whole, but all good. So looking at Financial Juice, again, another news site. We have same thing marked here. They also have a red folder US Treasury, QRA. I don't even know what that is. They've got some more red folder marked on here as high impact. So I don't know who to trust on this one, but we got some news today, guys. So coming up in about 7 minutes, make sure you're watching the stream live. If you're on YouTube, go down to the bottom, make sure you click the live button. Coming up in about 7 minutes, we got some news. We got some more coming at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's 8:08 a.m. Eastern right now. 9:45 and then 10 and then 10:30 crude oil inventories. Yeah, we got news today, man. All right, we're gonna be trading through some news. I think we're gonna be YOLOing some news trades. No, we'll have to see. So okay, that's worth noting. You can also see it on Project X for those of you guys that care. Can you see this on my chart? Yeah, down here you can click on these and you actually have the news events right here on your chart. They're shown in Central Time, which always confuses me, but they are showing as well. This is 8:15 a.m. Eastern. They're showing 8:30 as high impact as well. PMI as high impact at 10 and 9:45. So yeah, we kind of got news this entire session. So that's going to be a little dicey to work with. But let's go ahead and get ready to take a look at NQ, guys. So here was some thoughts. Here were some thoughts coming into the morning. As always, there's changes. There's changes in the prop space, right? Let me see if I could pull this up. Hang on real quick. I don't know if you guys saw that we got a message from Top Step yesterday. It was in an email. Let me see if I could pull the email up, because I also thought I got the email. I got the email. Risk adjustments. There we go. Can I display this without completely doxing myself? Yeah, I think I can. So, whoa, here's an email that we got yesterday from Top Step. This was also posted to their Twitter, right? And again, like I talked about yesterday, I am having no part of random negativity or drama or hate or none of that stuff, right? I'm just going to try to comment objectively. This is obviously important. So the short of this is they stopped trading. They halted trading on sim and live, so evals, XFAs, and live accounts on pretty much all the metals: gold, silver, platinum, copper, natural gas, E-mini natural gas. And then on the micros, they're allowing you to trade it. They placed a contract limit of a very tight amount of contracts, right? We're talking 5 micros on on a 50K account, where you're usually able to trade 5 minis, right? On the micro contracts. So not unreasonable. I think the reasoning behind it is a little bit BS. I think, they should just say what it is, kind of like the brokers that have imposed really, really big margin requirements, like to go and trade 1 mini contract of silver on your live broker. I encourage you to go look at it. I was seeing screenshots from Robinhood. You needed like $92,000 of margin to open 1 contract, 1 mini. And that's because of how fast it's moving, right? It's because of how fast the volatility is. For using an ATR, we can go look at a chart. It's insane, right? These were providing a ton of upside opportunity to traders, as well as downside risk, right? And the firms have to say, hey, we have people putting up record days. I'm sure they also have people blowing through accounts faster than ever. But also, if you YOLO every single day on silver with max minis, you're probably going to blow account after account after account. And then the one that finally, hits is like, a $200,000 day. It's insane. So point of me sharing this with you guys is part of my my enticement with these metals, watching this move, right? Not really being involved, was that I would like to be able to in the future. But you do have to remember that as things start moving faster, margin requirements go up, limitations can come into place, and as a whole, with prop firms and with brokers and really everything in the financial markets, it's important to remember this, right? And I'm going to put it this way. We're playing on their court with their ball, okay? At any time, they could say, we're done. We're taking our ball and going home. I've seen that happen in areas of the financial markets that I never thought I would see happen, but it can be important to note that, and it can be important to think in those terms when you get too hyper-focused or too sucked into one platform, one style, one instrument, one market, one broker, right? Things change rapidly, especially in the prop firm space, the futures prop firm space, but also in the markets in general. And it's important to remember, you're not on your home turf. We're playing on their turf by their rules, and they're allowed to say at any point, you're done. Game's over. We're taking our ball and going home. We're tired of you dunking on us, or we're worried that you're going to dunk on us, or the hoop is super low now, so we're going to raise it back up. You know, I'm using a bunch of analogies here. But important to note that, guys. Important to note that. I'm going to come back over to my chart as I watch this because we have news coming. We have news coming. I have a completely unmarked chart, but I'm curious to see what we get here on NQ as this news drops. I'm not going to trade this. Obviously, I'm not trading it just yet. I'm yapping a lot this morning as we get set up, but I'm going to do some chart markup on NQ, and I'll look for some potential scalpy style trades in some accounts that I'm working on, some funded accounts, some evals that I'm working on. I'll let you guys know what I'm trading. Maybe I'll try to pull those up. If not, I'll just execute and I'll throw positions on the screen, which I really don't like to do because it doesn't show P&L running. And it's kind of after the fact, but I'll see if I can get this chart marked up and we can go from here. 8:15, not a whole lot of movement. Not a whole lot of movement out of this, really at all so far. Let's see if we start to get anything crazy. 8:15 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's supposed to be right now. Pretty much nothing out of that one, and then we got 8:30 coming up in 15 minutes. So yeah, guys, you know, thought process there, right? Like, I would expect that from other firms. By the way, I would expect that from you know, other firms as well. But important to note that when you're thinking about, you know, trading, right? Like a lot of people get really, and I used to really like offended, mad that things were changing, things are being updated. And, you know, you have to try to get used to that. You have to work in this really dynamic, ever-changing environment if you're going to have longevity here, for better or for worse, or decide that it's too inconsistent and, you know, you don't want to be part of the financial markets, right? And you move on. So, important note there. A little bit upsetting as far as being able to put a lot of leverage on. You know, a lot of... I think I'm going to run a 15 and a side-by-side for NQ. A little disappointing for being able to put a lot of risk on in some of the evals and stuff like that, but not the end of the world. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. For NQ, for trade NQ here, I'm going for a really aggressive, lower time frame, higher frequency scalping style approach. There's not a lot of momentum for pre-market, but I'm going to get some trades in, kind of just get a feel for volatility, get a feel for trading the new instrument. I'm going to see what accounts I have loaded up. I got three accounts passed yesterday from, I don't know if I'm going to name these other firms, but from another firm, a firm that shall not be named, to get some practice in on here. I've got a couple evals loaded up. I think I got two fresh ones rolling, but we'll take some trades on NQ. I'll put a little note up here that I expect, you know, I don't expect anything crazy. I don't expect great results. In fact, I probably expect to get cooked. As I'm getting comfortable on a new instrument, as I'm getting comfortable on a new time of day, right? What I'm going to do here is just zoom out and really quickly so I don't spend too much time. I'm going to mark up some areas of interest. I could use zones to do this, but I'm being lazy. I'm just going to use lines. I'm just going to use horizontal lines. Marking up some levels, coming off of, you know, key areas of interest, volume profile, visible range volume profile levels. I'm going to throw a couple of volume profiles on this as well. But I just want to mark up some higher time frame levels on the 15-minute. You know, where I think we might trade to and from on the lower time frames, and I can do this just by zooming out really aggressively. Probably throw one down here as well. A couple levels above and below price, right? Areas of interest, support and resistance, supply and demand, order blocks, whatever the hell you want to call these, right? Yeah, I like this up here. This is way far out. Probably don't need something up there, but that's gonna be good. Let's zoom in on the 15-minute. Let's get some volume profiles on here just real quick. Fixed range volume profile from a couple prior days, just so we can see where we're at on the 15. I'm going to run one on the actual chart that I'm trading on as well, because this is really what I'm going to be looking at on the low time frame. This is really going to be my whole chart setup here. And I'll adjust this. Oh, don't need to go from there. 1800 to current time that we're trading. I'll adjust this. I'll take things on and off this chart, you know, as I see fit, as I get more comfortable down here on the low time frame. But yeah, if I go side by side, this is just like, I can't really see anything on either. I don't have this on a big enough screen for you guys, but I'd like to run like the 15-minute, which you guys can maybe note. Maybe you want to do this. If I'm gonna scalp, like, you know, or trade momentum on a lower time frame, I really do like to know what's going on the 15-minute chart. It's really my bread and butter, and I could probably do this. I could probably get away with that, and then run the 1 minute over here, and kind of execute down here. Yeah, we can run this. We can run this setup. Nah, it's overlaying so damn much. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this set up here on Project X. This is overlaying too much. I can't even see this volume profile, so I'm not gonna do this. But if I was trading without being live here, running this on my own screen, this is how I would run it. I would run it side by side, but I want to be able to see this whole volume profile, the current formation. I'm just gonna zoom out. The current formation on the 1 minute chart, because I want to trade to and from these areas of interest right here. Like right now, we're at value area low of the current session. I'm looking long on this, like immediately. We really are at a spot that I would like to be long. I'm going to go ahead and throw a trade on back to current volume point of control right here. I'm literally going to throw this one on right now. How am I going to run this today? That's my question. All right, I'm going to execute. You'll probably hear it. I'm going to execute on a second screen for today. Tomorrow or going forward, I'll have another chart marked up. I'll be ready for it, and I'll execute on the same screen. But in the interest of not swapping back and forth like an absolute madman, I'm going to execute on a second screen here.
Order filled.
So I'm getting long on this bad boy right now. And I will give you my exact take profit and stop loss. So I'm getting long on this bad boy right off the rip. My actual entry on this is 25. Where I have the take profit and stop for now. That's a bit too tight. I'm gonna go, let's see, I'm gonna widen out on this bad boy on the 1 minute chart, come all the way down around the lows of the session, give this thing, ooh, got some selling pressure again, man. We're gonna get scalpy on this one. Pretty low risk. I'm gonna allow myself multiple stop outs as I work towards some profit in these bad boys. But I'm trying the long on this bad boy. Yeah, I'm going to go stop outside of this for now. I'm going to go 62.50. And take profit. Let's see where we're going to run a take profit. Yeah, right back up towards volume point of control. Volume point of control. Positive risk to reward. And again, guys, low risk, not nearly what I put on in this account here. Low risk to allow myself multiple scalpy style trades on the day for something like this. Reason for this trade, right? We're chopping here. We're chopping back and forth for pre-market. We're coming down to the low end of this current average range that we have rolling right now. I'm taking a trade off of value area low, off of this area of high volume, anticipating that we come back up here, we chop back around through VWAP, looking for a scalpy style trade, right? Something that could play out pretty quickly. We come down and break this low. It could be lights out. I'm allowing a few points below that. Ooh, there we go. I'm allowing a few points below that. That's the sweep of the low. See if we find any buyers or if we're just going to continue on this initial trend. Was looking for this quick reversion, right? I actually like topping in right here as we broke down this level, started to push back up, right? Off of this value area low level, outside of this range right here. But we'll see if we take a stop. We'll see if we take a stop. Something I will look to do on these trades is start really, really small with like one contract at a clip, and then potentially scale up, potentially scale in, right? So, you know, if I'm trading micros on something like this, I might look to add as we come back up, tighten up stop loss, control risk, add in profit, you know, towards a stop loss, towards a take profit, allow myself the opportunity to capitalize on some larger winners. But this could be trade number 1 for the morning. Again, guys, I don't like doing what I'm doing right now. I think it's super annoying. I just will mess up my entire screen if I try to jockey around 3 more prop firm account windows and mark up a whole nother fresh chart. You know, this is my bread and butter. Once YM starts moving and we come into NYSE Open, this is my live account that I want to be putting risk on. This is what I'm going to trade from. But for pre-market, this is in a 50K XFA. This is in a fresh 50K XFA, just so you're aware of the exact account that I'm trading. Yeah, just looking for a take profit. If we did start to pop higher, yeah, I wouldn't mind it right into that level. What is this set at? Just so I could have it exact here. 35.25. $25, 435, 25. Nice. One thing that I find annoying on Project X also is that you can't use session volume profile. Getting a nice reversion here on the way back up. After the sweep of this low. If we come down through this low, I think it's going to be lights out. We're trying this one. Seeing if we can't get a pop back up to the upside. Well, what I was going to say was, one thing I find annoying on Project X, I'm wondering what TradeAvate looks like for this, but I know it works well on TradingView, is that you can't run session volume profile. Like, there's no session volume profile, which is kind of annoying. You have to use a fixed range volume profile, and it doesn't automatically adjust. So you physically have to do what I'm doing, which is click and drag it out to the current candle that's printing, in order to get the most current volume profile for whatever time frame you're trading on. It works the same, it functions the same, but just so you guys know the tools that I'm using. This is fixed range volume profile. This is visible range volume profile, which is an indicator, or volume profile visible range. Here's the settings for it. We've got traditional volume down here on the bottom, and this is a VWAP line in the middle. ATR, which we talked about, leave it on the chart for today. Currently at a 10, about almost 11 on the 1 minute chart. You can see how some of these candles are printing. Cool. Sorry, chat. I just needed to get set up so I could actually start trading off on some of these, man. Good morning, guys. How we doing? How are we doing? Yo, Ezal, what's up? So Lunchalot, my favorite instruments to trade. Yeah, I know, silver, right? Gold. We were talking about the risk adjustment email from Top Step. We were talking about this, and again, guys, just for reference, like, I would expect to see this from other firms. I don't know that they're going to be alone doing this. We saw the crazy, margin requirement increases from brokers. I would expect, potentially the same move out of other firms, either stopping trading completely, reducing contract sizing, something. Again, I don't think it's unreasonable for firms and brokers to, increase margin requirements. And if they can't increase margin requirements, for a prop firm, like reduce it in another way by like tightening up. But it is just a demonstration that, this space changes super quickly. The markets are going to change quickly. Prop firms are going to change quickly. Platforms, all of it. It continues to change. That's the way that it's always been as long as I've been around. So it is important to note. But hey, guys, we got 8:30. Oh, sorry, I didn't even say it. We got 8:30 a.m. news rolling in right now. I am holding the trade that I'm in through it. Again, low risk, something I'm going to be willing to take over and over and over again across different accounts. I'm comfortable with this level of risk to take, multiple L's on, multiple possible wins on. Nice rejection in the downside here. Yeah, we might have to come out, clean some liquidity, and I will be part of that liquidity. But running this one through 8:30, right? This was a nothing burger. We'll see if we get some follow through on this. So far, nothing too crazy out of it. These aren't NFP, these aren't FOMC, this isn't, unemployment claims, right? Like these aren't like crazy news events, right? Like US Treasury QRA, like I don't even honestly, like, not to sound like an idiot, but I don't even know what that is. I don't know what QRA is, if you ask me. But I know that it's not a major, high impact news event. Of course, any news event can come in really hot or really cold. It can come in, way above expectations, way below expectations, and you can always get, a super big change in volatility, a massive movement. I would expect some change in volatility. I'm comfortable to handle it with the stop loss that I'm running right now and the take profit that I'm running right now. Just allow this to play out. But, stuff like FOMC, CPI, unemployment, NFP Friday, the FOMC press conference, those are ones where, like, I'd be really cautious unless you are looking to hunt that volatility down and you want to trade that momentum, which I will do a little bit for this style of trading that I'm working on right now. So, we were talking a little bit about that. Yes, I understand that, but I love them. Yeah, no, for sure. NQ, come on. Keep going down, buddy. You got long ways to go. You were early for the stream today. Yes, I am early for the stream today. Guys, we're streaming early here. If you want to follow along, I keep everybody updated in these two spots. Everybody updated really in these two spots. If you're not going to catch it while I'm here on YouTube, where I did talk about this yesterday, you could follow me on IG. Not to get too distracted here with a trade on, but I'm going to get distracted. You could follow me here on IG. You could follow me here on... You could hop in the 100% free trading Discord. I will always keep you guys updated and talk about when I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming, when I got days off. You will never be surprised. Unless I have something happen that's unexpected. Pre-market scalps are a great ad. Yeah. Again, I'm looking to get more comfortable on these instruments. I'm looking to trade them for NYSE Open as well. Really for momentum style trading. But I want to get comfortable, right? I want to get comfortable trading them. I want to take my wins and losses. I want to get comfortable with position sizing, market movements. And that's only done through screen time, right? It's only done through experience. So that's what I'm here doing with you guys today. Like I said, very low expectations, right? Very low expectations. When I change, as I'm about to get ready to potentially take a loss here, very low expectations, right? I think it would be unreasonable for me to come over and say, well, I got great results swing trading. I came over from Forex and CFDs, and now all of a sudden I'm going to trade a new instrument on a new time of the day at a little bit different style, more aggressive scalping, lower time frame, and I'm just going to clean up. I'm going to do great right from day one. No, even if you have a lot of experience years in, you have a lot of, track record doing one thing well, you've adjusted and adapted to certain different things. As you make small incremental changes, I think it's really important to go lower expectations to zero. I expect to lose money, right? I expect to just, learn as I go, and whatever you're comfortable risking on the way of doing that, For many people, maybe that's a demo account, right? Just a complete demo account. You don't want to lose any money. Maybe it's a, you know, an eval account or a cheap instant funded account. Maybe for someone like me, it's still trading evals and funded accounts aggressively, but not a prop firm live account, not a personal live account, right? You know, not thousands of dollars of risk in, you know, live accounts. Maybe they're sim funded accounts, like I'm trading right here with you guys now. You know, you decide on kind of like what that would be. Because you can still have upside, right? You can still clean up, take some nice trades right off the bat, go on a win streak, whatever it is. But I think you should be reasonable with your expectations. And if you are, ooh, a lot of volatility coming in on that one. If you are reasonable with your expectations, the way that I am, where I say I'm writing these accounts off, right? The ones that I'm trading for, you know, for the morning. I could focus on just building some data, right? Looking at what's working, looking at what's not working. I'm not crazy doing anything, not holding my trade, you know, moving my stop loss, doing crazy movements. You know, I could just objectively collect data and say, hey, we got, you know, winning trade, losing trade. It seems to work really well when I trade with a 100 tick stop loss or a 200 tick stop loss, or to add in or to not add in. You know, anything along those lines, just be able to actually focus on trading. Man, that was a beautiful crack to the upside. It made it 23 points in my direction before coming right back down. I hate the rejection there. That looks like we do want to come lower. I'm gonna hold on to this one. I think if I had to manage a trade at this point, I would clip it right here, right now. If you said, hey, Zach, you have to manage before your stop loss, what would you do? I'd clip it right here. That was a gnarly rejection. But I don't have enough experience trading NQ on the 1 minute chart at 8:36 in the morning. So maybe we come back up to the upside. Maybe we come all the way back through. Again, I don't really care. I'm more here to what I think most people should be thinking of trading. Follow a process. Set a game plan. Follow a process. Put some trades on, right? Stick to your guns. And then look at what's working. Look at what's not working. Adapt from there. That's how you build out an edge without sounding too stupidly simple, because I do believe trading can be really stupidly simple. That's how you build out your edge. You know, maybe that does involve you having a whole lot more inputs. For me here off the open, the only thing that I was potentially intending to do, my trade management on something like this, as we came back up, I'm glad that I didn't pull it. As we came back up, potentially add and drag stop loss all the way up tight. You know, maybe below a 1 minute low down here, kind of a low after we broke and then came back up. Double up position size and then try to manage risk to the upside. I do like that as a lower time frame, you know, scalping style of trade management, where you are able to aggressively add into winning positions. But this one's moving fast on some news. We're back and forth. We got volatility increasing. I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable adding in and potentially realizing a larger loss. I'm not comfortable tightening up stop loss. I probably would be stopped out on something if I had done it already. So I'm just gonna let this one rip. Yeah, putting up a fight down here around current value area low. Kind of on the, you know, on the cusp of this high volume node here. You know, can we crack back up towards this volume point of control? I would have loved to see a take profit right here. I don't like how we wicked up here and then aggressively came back down. That feels like buyers tried it, or whatever that, you know, quick wick of liquidity was. Buyers tried it, and then, you know, we aren't going to move higher. That's all we're going to do. You know, we're just going to come down and move lower. So I really don't love this one. But again, I'm going to let it rip. Got quite a bit of liquidity here on NQ, all the way down at 25,300s. That's definitely interesting. That's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. Let's see. Yeah, sellers trying it, man. Sellers trying it. Chatty McChat chat. Let's see. Pre-market scouts are great at. Yeah, we're talking about that. Yeah, early. RDF, I'm new. What do you use other than volume profile for your levels and markup? Yeah, we did we did quite a bit of, I don't know that I want to come off of this screen harsh. We did quite a bit of markup on YM, so maybe you could just go back and take a look at that. But just to run through it, you know, really quickly for YM primarily, I'll do it. I'm gonna let it play out. What do I care? Like I said, gonna let that one play out. For YM, I'm traditionally trading my bread and butter, the 15-minute chart. I'll give you a full chart breakdown real quick, guys. I have price in the middle, right? Very, very simple colored price. I have VWAP, volume weighted average price. This is an indicator. Standard settings, just colored white. I have visible range, volume profile, visible range with some custom settings over here on the right-hand side. This is the custom settings for my visible range volume profile. I have a fixed range volume profile getting drawn for every day from session changeover. This is 6 p.m. Eastern, right? At 1800 hours, however you say the military time, all the way to 1645, right? Which would be right before session changeover, right? Because you can see down here on the bottom, it goes 1645 to 1800, right? My custom settings for that, which is really just a display. It's not changing really, you know, anything too crazy here. It's just a display, right? If you wanted colors, here's what the colors look like. Oh, I do move the width over a little bit. I think I do the same on volume profile. I do move the width over a little bit, 25%. And then outside of that, right, that's technically the indicators I have in my chart. These are all volume style tools. I have discretionary levels, right? Simple areas of interest. These are just zones, lines. They don't mean anything other than I think that that's an area of interest. How I'm drawing them, again, go back to the beginning of the video, I think, to just kind of watch that. You know, you'll see me marking it up, adjusting, and I kind of describe, you know, what I'm doing and not doing. Down here we have ATR, average true range, which I'm typically not running on my chart. But I am adding here for maybe some some NQ movement, and because we talked about it. So that's the overview of the chart. Yeah, we're gonna see if we find support here. Again, these are low time frame trades, right? These are scalpy trades. Very tight compared to what I'm usually doing on YM, right? These are much tighter style trades, and I think with that smaller market movement, higher frequency, you're going to generate more quick take profits, more quick stop losses, right? You're going to have those frustrating wick out movements, you know, that type of deal. But part of getting ready to trade momentum more aggressively, right, as it comes into the market, is working with a little bit tighter stops. This is not really momentum trading at all. This is really just lower time frame scalping using volume tools, basic, you know, trend support and resistance, supply and demand. You know, this is not waiting for big momentum and volatility to come into the market. But like I said, I want to get comfortable. I want to get comfortable at least trading on NQ and others, right? My goal is to trade other instruments, to develop the skill set of flexibility between instruments. Nice. We're trying it. We're not dead yet. We're trying it. Sellers had an opportunity to take us out multiple times. We did wick down below here and find buyers, but obviously now this is becoming some consolidation. We've been trading outside of that wick there. We've been trading primarily in a 100 tick, 25 point range. I think we're gonna make a decision coming up pretty soon whether we want to head down towards this low, push this pre-market low out a little bit further, maybe drift down a little bit before NYSE open, or if we want to come back up towards VWAP, settle at current volume point of control, really to the high end of this area of volume that we're kind of trading in here. This obviously is an area of interest where we have quite a bit of lows put in here just from a market structure perspective. This was an area that immediately we found resistance at. right? Some of this consolidation here. I'm looking for a push higher, right? Kind of into the top end of this, right? Where we have VWAP, this current volume point of control, maybe up here to like the high end of this, this high volume node. But stuck in one. I was expecting this to be a quicker stop loss or take profit, but we're hanging out in a trade again. Yo. Yeah, we were talking about that. Quite cluttered. Yes, these are a while ago. I'm reading the chat, guys. I don't know what we were talking about back then. Good morning. We're crazy early today. Yeah. We're crazy early today. Just below the new day opening gap. Okay. Honestly, quite reasonable despite whatever those reasons they gave, but not really a great gesture given people kind of paid for the contract sizing. Yeah, for sure. We're talking about Top Step limiting trading on, those instruments, right? I would agree with that. I've heard a couple people say that, like, what about me who maybe wanted to trade silver and I paid for the ability to trade with these contract sizes, and now you took them away from me, that type of deal. But I do understand the movement. What I would just like to see out of more firms, and what I try to encourage any firm or company that I work with to do, is just like, just be honest about stuff. You don't have to treat traders like, they don't know what's going on. You don't have to say it's for your protection. You could say, here's what's happening. Here's the volatility. If we were going to allow you to trade that amount of contracts, we would have to charge you 10 times as much because the return on investment can be that much, something along those lines. Still on CFDs only because swing trading. Cool. Enter summer long on, coming back down towards these lows now that I'm looking at it. But I'm trying to read the chat as it comes in too. Entered a long on MBS, chopped around, break even. Not really liking the action. Yeah, this is just choppy. It's super duper choppy. Looks like we're gonna make a decision to come lower, at least for now. I like this trade though. I do like this trade. It's gonna be a good loss for me. Quick question about the volume profile. Different time frames give different value area highs, value area lows, point of control. How does one determine which time frame is best to mark up? That's a good question, man. It's a good question, Ezel. So I've done some research on this. I've heard people make different comments. The baseline, the information that I've gotten is that the lower time frame, like the 1 minute, marking from the 1 minute and taking levels from the 1 minute or the lowest time frame that's available for you, gives the most granular volume data and price data, and in turn the most accurate price levels, both for volume point of control, value area high and low. But for me, on the 15-minute chart on YM, for example, I just mark straight from the 15-minute chart. I think as long as you're doing something with consistency day in and day out, that small nuance is not going to matter that much. But that's the juice on that one. I think, like, just for simplicity, as I'm getting ready to take a stop on this one. Yeah, pushing lower. No return to VWAP and volume point of control. We want to trade towards the edge of this, maybe push lower, maybe push this pre-market low out. That's a stop on trade number 1 on NQ for me. Starting out strong. Yeah, we want to push lower and maybe come to test this pre-market low. Maybe come to sweep this pre-market low. We'll see how this one plays, but that's going to be trade number 1 for me. But yeah, I think as long as you're marking volume profile, right, from whatever time frame you're trading on every single day, I think you're going to be fine. Thank you, much appreciated. Yeah. Thanks, Selling Heavy. Yeah, man. L on this one. Again, reasons for the trade. Reasons for the trade on this one. Kind of what I'm looking to play. If there's very low momentum, low volatility like this, we're kind of just slow moving, chopping around. We don't have anything really, really crazy coming in. Using volume profile, using whether we're trending or we're breaking to the upside, breaking to the downside, or we're just kind of doing what we're doing here, which is breaking back and forth. to look to trade from a moderate time frame point of view, like 1 minute, but taking a look at where we're at relative to volume profile. And for this one, it was pretty simple, right? We came down. My actually entry was right over here. We came down, swept current value area low, right? Swept outside of this high volume node. On the way back up, quickly entered long for a move. Where? Right back to the middle ground of this high volume area, right? Right back to the middle ground of this this price action and market structure to the upside. Obviously, market did not want to cooperate. We did crack really aggressively to the upside here. We made it through some news, but chopped around and now deciding to move lower on this one. So stop number one for me. Stop number one for me. But good trade for me, right? I'm going to continue to take, try to take somewhat consistent trades, although this is going to be a lot of discretion here on the low time frames. Now, as we come lower, I'd be curious to see if we really aggressively continue to sell off here, or if we're just going to sweep this current pre-market low and come right back in. But no trade setting up just yet. 8:50 a.m. We don't have too long to NYSE open. Going to be watching YM and NQ. I'd like to be watching some of silver and gold and oil, but I'm going to get started on NQ this morning with you guys. Maybe we'll bounce around to some of the other indices and metals if they start moving real fast. Getting some selling pressure on this. We got a little bit of momentum to the downside. I'm curious to see if we retest and maybe we start to get some trending movement here. I don't know that I want to really trade this for an extension to the downside right ahead of NYSE open, but that's what would start to be setting up here. Or we sweep the low, we come right back into volume point of control, and that's going to be a really clean sweep down below pre-market lows, and then a push back up. Let's see. This would be more of a break and continuation to the downside. If this structure was a little bit better, I could consider something like this. Again, I don't know that I want to trade for more of an extension. Also, don't have a really clean way to structure risk on this. This would be getting really scalpy to go stop loss just above something like that. Right in here. I think we do have a strong chance of coming back up here. So I don't know that I want to try to get too super aggressive, but we got a pretty nice area of interest to the downside if we were going to continue lower, but I don't know that we do. We dipped down, came right back in. We had buyers immediately step back in to look like they want to bring that thing back up. If I had to take another trade, it might be another long. Might be another long on this one, trying this bad boy again. We got some structure now that we formed a low below this low. I think I'm going to take a similar trade here, guys. I think I'm going to take a similar long here for a move back up.
Order filled.
I'm gonna run a little long here, guys. I'm gonna run a little long. Gonna run another long. Call me a permabull. Let me just get this set up. But yeah, I'm looking at a sweep of pre-market low, right? Current pre-market low. A dip outside. I think we either continue really aggressively to downside. We just sell off into pre-market. Or we come right back up towards that same area that I'm targeting. I actually like the risk structure on this one. Again, it's aggressive. We've sold off into pre-market. We have pushed lower. We're kind of breaking and retesting in here. Let me go ahead and take this one. Hang tight, guys. Hang tight, Chatty McChat.
Order filled.
There we go. I'm taking this. Taking this bad boy. I'm in. Let's see if we come right down through the low super aggressively to this next level to the downside, or if we can catch a little bit of this bounce back up. Let's see, chat. Let's see. Let's go ahead and mark it up. Get the actual position on here. Like I said, tomorrow, once I'm set up a whole lot better for these pre-market trades here on NQ, I will go ahead and actually execute on the damn screen that I'm trading on. But for now, I'm going to give you the exact in real time take profit, stop loss, where I'm trading to and from. Yeah, I'm trying to just measuring out a stop loss here, guys. I'm gonna go somewhat wide. I'm gonna go somewhat wide to start, and then I'm gonna look to add potentially if we come back up. So I'm gonna start this pretty wide, 25, 3, 29 and a half. 25, 3, 29.5. I'm gonna run this light to start because it could be something I hold on to. I don't know that I would run a fixed take profit all the way up there. But I'm not going to look to take profit too quickly on this one. If we sell back off, retest this low, I survive. You know, we kind of pull one of these, right? I talked about starting these trades off light. We pull one of these, something like this, and then come back up. This could be something that I look to add a position to, right? And then manage risk on both positions. But that's the play so far. Again, no fixed take profit. I just run a wide thing out here. I'll of course let you guys know what I'm looking at for a take profit. But for now, yeah, let's put it at current volume point of control. Let's put it actually just way up here for now. What is that? 25. Just so I could have it exact. 25. 440.25. Nice. Again, not a fixed take profit. Fixed stop loss, of course. Looking to be dynamic when I take profits, as I always am. But potentially looking to add into winners. That's something I'd like to try to implement here. So again, reasons for this trade, right? Same direction, not quite an entry after an immediate stop out, right? We took a stop on the way down here. Now we've got this low swept, buyers stepping right back in, popping this thing up higher. I'm entering on a little bit of a pullback down, right around these lows, with buyers finding some chance to try to pull this thing back up. I think we either make this move here, coming into 9:30 a.m., or we make this move here. That's the thought process. So I have a way to be dead right or dead wrong, right? I think we move to this high volume node next, or we move to this high volume node next, right? So I'm happy to put a trade on when I feel I have a way to be dead right or dead wrong, right? This is actually a little area of interest that we're at right now. We got some lows. We got some highs and lows put in right here where we're trading right now. So that's going to be play number 2, guys. We'll see if I go 1 for 1. We'll see if I go 0 for 2. We'll see what we get as we get ready to come into NYSE Open. And speaking of that, guys, it is coming up on 9 a.m. Could get some volatility coming in. You got my position running on the chart right here, right now. I will be right back. Since we're running this stream all the way into NYSE Open, I'm going to have a couple breaks in here. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to let this one run on the chart. You guys can watch this one play out right into 9 a.m. Hopefully, chair trades well for me. Be right back, guys. Where's my mic? There we go. Back in action with you guys, man. Still live in this trade. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do coming into NYSE. Again, if you guys hopped on late, I am here trading pre-market with you guys, getting comfortable with some lower time frame, aggressive scalping. I am running this in some sim accounts. These are funded accounts that I am running this one in, some 50Ks, as I get more comfortable trading pre-market. But expectations low, right? Very reasonable. I think it's unreasonable to say, hey man, I'm going to come right over to a new time frame, new time of day, and absolutely clean up. I think for most, you probably want to trade on demo. You probably want to, back test, forward test on demo, then trade with very, very small risk on the line. even if you're experienced, right? Even if you have a good read of price action market structure. Sellers in, man. This move today was just follow this trend to the downside. Really not catching buyers off of any of these levels. I was looking for on this one a sweep of this current pre-market low right off of here, off of this open. Pretty nice level to find some buyers. We dipped down, came back up. I waited for a little bit of a test lower. Stop loss, not super duper tight to that low. 50 ticks below. I wouldn't say that that's a super duper tight stop loss, but it does look like we want to continue lower. I'm really curious to see if I take the stop here, if we do continue down to this area of interest, right? This next level, this high volume node, which it kind of looks like we want to do. Unless we catch buyers coming up here really, really soon. It looks like we just want to keep eating up liquidity to the downside and moving lower. 9:05 a.m. Eastern. Taking a look around the horn. Let's see what the rest of the U.S. indices are doing. ES kind of chopping, a little bit stronger, sitting here at just below VWAP. Looking at YM, kind of similar movement out of YM. Pretty slow moving, choppy for this this pre-market session, even as we get closer to the 9:30 a.m. NYSE open. Let's take a look at what these bad boys were doing. Ooh, we do got some movement. We do got some movement here, chat. Silver moving. Yeah, here's where it comes into being absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. This movement, this movement to trade this in funded accounts is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. So, you know, halting some trading on here for, you know, being reasonable doing that, I think. But yeah, these are pretty clean movements to the upside. Just taking a look at silver on the low time frame here. Yeah, man, nice breaks and retests. Opened up to the upside, stayed above VWAP, just continuing to push this thing higher. Nice. Nice. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at silver in a little bit. I'm watching NQ, watching ES Bookmap, and this looks like it's going to be a stop for me. In by the skin of my teeth here. But why did I bring these back up? Nope, that's a stop. Yeah, man, selling off into the morning. That's it. Selling off from really 7:30 a.m. Tried the longs in here off of value area low. Tried the longs in here after a sweep of this current pre-market high, or it was at the time, after a sweep of that pre-market high to come back up. But what are we doing? Just breaking and retesting, moving to the downside. Really hitting the sell button at any point in here. Looks like the move. Interested to see how far we continue. We're not really ripping lower. We're kind of just continuing to grind lower. But I'm 0 for 2. I'm going to be 0 for 2 to start this one out, man. Part of the game. Low expectations to start, like I talked about. But never fun to lose even sim money either way. As we get closer to NYSE Open. Taking a look at the couple accounts that I was trading on. Really curious to see where we go from here. Really curious to see where we go from here. Let's see, chat. Got to take him on the chin. We'll see if we continue lower, but obviously just trading with this low time frame trend would have been the play today. I like both of those. Yeah, second one I like as well, man. Sweep a pre-market low in here before a move back up towards this value area, high volume node, current volume point of control. I like it, but cooked off of pre-market for starting this out. All good, man. All good. Like I said, low expectations to get started on this one. Trading in sim-funded accounts. Funded accounts, but sim-funded accounts. There's a reason you don't see me doing this right off of the open, right off the start in live account or personal live accounts, right? Keeping risk low, right? Keeping risk relatively low. But let's come back over to YM. Take a look at what we got going on the 15-minute. So we got about 20 minutes to NYSE open here. Yeah, choppy, man. Choppy pre-market session so far for all of these. Not putting a big range in here. Got some levels marked out on YM for this off of the open type of movement. And then I will come back over to NQ. I'll watch NQ and continue on trading, man. Curious to see where we head right off the open on all of these. Very curious to see. Very curious to see. Let's see, chat. See what the market's got for me today. But appreciate you guys hopping on early, man. It's been fun so far. We ain't going anywhere. Sorry, send a couple messages. Oh shoot, I never posted the live stream in the damn other Discord. Damn. My bad, guys. Hang on. Hang on, chat. That's what I got a message on. Somebody asked if I was live streaming. Man, I don't know. You got. I try to post this stuff everywhere, but still every day I get asked, "Are you live streaming?" I'm always live streaming, guys. I'm always live streaming. And on a stream like today, taking some L's. 2 L's off the rip. But again, man, low risk scalping for pre-market on NQ. Low expectations coming into getting comfortable on it, man. Let's see. My bad. I wanted to make sure I had this stream up everywhere as we were coming into NYSE Open. Chat. Morning, guys. Bright and early. You know it. Oh, that was a late one. Hey, I'd love to join the giveaway. Love to join whenever you are streaming. Somebody said giveaway in chat. Kindly help by adding me on Discord. Yeah, there's the 100% free trading Discord. If you guys are missing it, man. If you guys are missing it. Yeah, I post the another Discord. I post the live stream in the Top 1 Futures Discord as well. Throw it in there. What's up, guys? What's happening? Learning a lot listening to this morning. Bro, no. Okay, let's ask before. Wait a minute. Wolf! What's up, Wolf? What's happening? What's happening, brother? Zach has changed his setup. Yeah, it seems a little more distant now. Yeah, what's up, dude? What's going on? What's going on, Wolf? Where you been, my man? Wolf from the house. We got a Discord OG in here, man. Good morning, good morning. Let's make some money. Let's see. If the trade waits until, if the trade waits till open, 75% chance you make the midnight open price of 25,434. Dwayne, that's a good one, man. That's a good note. That is from Edgeful. I'm assuming the midnight retracement. You have a 75% chance that NQ will make 75% chance that NQ will make the midnight opening price of, what level did you say? So I can look at it, 25,434, which I think is, yeah, right there. Yeah. That was the target all morning, guys. That's what I was trading to. What I find is a lot of times, you know, these stats, these levels, they'll line up, right? Like I had levels that were at almost the exact same spot as multiple other traders that I've had on my stream that have found them, you know, using different tools, found them different ways. But yeah, that's what I was targeting, which is current volume point of control. It was where VWAP was. It was the top end of this. But we'll leave the midnight. What is it called? Midnight open? Is it the midnight price? Is it like the? Is it just the straight up midnight price? Yeah. Yep. It's the midnight price. Yep. Interesting level. All right, definitely an interesting level to watch. Time-based level. We'll have to come back and take a look at the chart if I'm watching YM on this one. Let's see. Damn, I'm actually running out of... This is going to be a long stream, guys. I'm actually running out of... music on this current playlist. Hold on. Haven't had this happen yet. I think we got another playlist in here. Let's see. Let me know what you guys are trading coming into the morning, man. I'm curious to hear. What are you guys looking at for these markets coming into NYSE Open? As I load up some more copyright-free music so YouTube doesn't kick me. Chat. I got busy, Zach. 2 research papers. Absolutely, man. Do your thing. Nah, Wolf, you know you're always welcome here, but no pressure. I have people that hop in and say, "I'm sorry, bro, that I hopped on late." I'm like, you don't have to be sorry, dude. I'm here every day. Don't worry. Midnight open price. Yeah, midnight open price has to do something with ICT traders. I think that was ICT. Yeah, I think the midnight, the time of midnight as a level on the price is probably not specific to any one trader. Kind of like opening ranges or almost every single other thing on the chart, unless it's proprietary to them. But yeah. 7:30, Nate. Start at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Not a lot of bias for today. Could really go both ways. Bullish on YM, but no trade for me. Okay. 6-year-old getting an award in kindergarten. Nice, dude. Congrats. Love that. A couple quick long scalps on NQ and ES. Now in both long for open. Nice, Pam. Nice. Still learning to trade. Here's my lucky guess. NQ not making it to 25,417. Okay. Bearish on it. You're looking for that movement to continue to the downside, not sweep back above that. Nice. Yeah, I said, you know, more momentum style scalping. You know, that's kind of like what I'm looking to what I'm really looking to get into, what I'm looking to do here on NQ. Neither of those were really scalpy or momentum style, right? They were more volume profile, market structure based, and not really scalpy. I don't think running a stop loss that wide is a really scalpy style of trading. But pretty slow moving market. I'm going to try to work with what I've got, for pre-market here on NQ. Wanted to start on NQ, get that marked up, take a look at it. And then metals are next, man. Metals are next. We can still trade micros on metals. So they haven't stopped it altogether. So we got about 10 minutes into the open. Yeah, my analysis remains, man. I'm pretty unbiased. Looking at what we're doing up here on the daily chart. For those of you guys that hopped on late, because we've been streaming for almost 2 hours already, man. Gonna be a long stream. Like I said, running these 7:30 a.m. all the way into NYSE open streams. Kind of choppy so far. Really not a big range getting put in. I think we could come lower on this. I do think we could extend to the downside. I think we could do that first, which is why I really wouldn't mind a long, but I think we could easily come down here and hit this level and then bounce right back up to VWAP, even if we're going to come lower or if we're going to shoot out the top here. If we push higher right off of the open, like I talked about earlier, I faded this yesterday for a nice quick W. I don't know that I want to do that again. And I probably won't. This would present a really aggressive short play. Let me backtrack. Not that I probably won't. If I take a trade like this that I took yesterday, I will manage it similarly, where I will be moving stop loss to break even relatively quickly. Maybe I'll run it with reduced risk on micros, but I'd look to manage it a little bit more aggressively. So somewhat unbiased coming into the open. Based on this structure, I'd prefer a long over a short. I think we could come lower off of the open, but I do like that basic mean reversion trade on YM right into the open. So let's see. I'm going to look to see what we get on YM right off of the open, and then my game plan for going forward is going to be, if I don't get that, somewhat aggressive mean reversion style trade on YM off of the open, to leave my chart markup, mark some alerts on a trading view chart, so I can hop over to whatever the hell else we want to try to scalp for the morning during NYSE Open. And then if YM is moving to or from a key area of interest, I'm able to come back over and get my trade on the 15-minute. Nice wide stop, nice wide take profit. That's my game plan for today and for going forward. Yeah, man. Good morning. Love your channel. You a vibe and have fun, audience. Yeah, man. We got a great community in here. I appreciate you. Thank you. Great stream. I appreciate you guys. I'm short early on ES, small 3 micros. Nice. Nice. No, I appreciate you guys. We got a great community in here. We have just an absolutely awesome community in here. I appreciate everybody that is here. And remember, guys, if you're not in the free Discord, it's pinned to the top of the chat. You guys can hop in the 100% free trading Discord. Let's see. Have you utilized the bookmap feed to support your expectations on those reversal trades? Hard to see, but it looks like there's still liquidity lower in there. I have not. I have really not utilized bookmap as far as YM mean reversion style trades off of the open. I really just find YM's order book to be really thin. It just doesn't provide as much information as something like ES and NQ. I think it's still interesting to watch. It can be a different display of volume. You can see orders come on and off the book, especially for pre-market. These are very slow. But for stuff like ES, you know, you have super big standout orders that come on and off the book. You know, sometimes they get moved around and not filled, like that one. But throughout NYSE session as well, it really provides I think a clearer, and these are overwhelming, making everything dark right now, but a clearer, you know, utilization like of areas of interest. And see, even NQ as well, right? You do have to zoom in a bit here, and I know I can only display so much over here in the corner of my screen because I still have my chart up. But you can see a lot more levels, in my opinion, on NQ and ES start to be displayed. Oh, wow, wow, yeah, that's a heavy stack. Heavy stack of orders. So I'm going to actually mark this on the chart so I can come back, because I'm not going to watch it off the open, which is coming up in 5 minutes. But let's go ahead and mark up these with like some orange, just so I can know what we're looking at. So we have on NQ, which I would say on any day is a pretty big stack of orders, 25,320. We have 310 and 300. Whoa. Big stacks of orders here on YM. I'm very curious to see if these get respected, or they come right down into this off of the open to fill. This is going to be kind of an interesting open to watch. I still think we can get a nice crack back up here. Let me make sure. Make sure, since I was trading, what we got running in the other sim accounts. What the hell did I do here? What in the world did I do here? I got stopped out of my 2 trades on the same account. I had 2 trades from the overnight session in a sim account, and I'm long NQ still. Wow. Well, I'm net red on these so far for the 2 stop outs, but I am long NQ. How did I manage to mess this one up? Well, let me go ahead and set a take profit on this. I'm still long NQ coming into the open, which it looks like I'm just going to go ahead and let it run. Here's going to be a take profit. 25. Let's go 450. Let's go 25, 450. That's just a mistake on my part, but I got a long running on NQ. Got to be more cautious. That's what happens when you're streaming and running 37 different platforms and trading across different prop firm accounts. Here comes the risk factor. You could easily do stuff like this. You could leave orders running. I genuinely don't even know how I did this. Clicking buttons too fast this morning, but we'll see if it ends up being a winner or a loser now, to come back all the way up through the high, through VWAP, and test that level that I was kind of waiting on all morning, or if it will be a loss. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch NQ off, I'm going to watch YM off the open. I'm going to try not to get distracted from my bread and butter, but But full transparency, I am long YM. I must have done it while I was yeah, I messed up two things this morning. Anyway, messed up two things this morning. Anyway, let's see. That's why you got to be cautious trading multiple accounts, multiple prop firms, multiple platforms. Very, very easy, man. And I'll tell you something, a bad habit that I got to get away from, that I consistently do. I'll do two things that are messed up. I'll look at stuff from my phone constantly, and that runs the risk of you hitting a button. But I'll right click, and I've fat fingered on a right click like this, where I go to reset my chart and market buy or set limits. Not a good idea to do that. So I think instead of right clicking, if you want to reset your chart, two ways you could do that as we open up here. You can double click on the time and the price axis, the way I just did right there. So like if you're scrolled out, you can click like that. If you're like all scrunched in like that, you can double click and double click. Or you can use option R, which I think is not going to reset. Yeah, it just sets it that way. Right clicking opens up a mess of errors, and I continue to do it, and I fat fingered it more than one time before. So I probably don't want to do that anymore. So pushing to the upside on YM here. Really aggressively pushing to the upside off of the open. Curious to see where we go on this one. Testing yesterday's volume point of control. Like I said, looking for that mean reversion trade. Was kind of hoping we got some selling pressure a little bit more aggressively off the open here on YM to potentially present a long. Looks like we got it on ES and NQ. Really aggressively selling off of the open. Damn. Heavy selling pressure off of the open on these. YM absolutely living in its own world as per usual. I'm going to be completely cooked on that long. Nice. Very nice. YM right towards yesterday's high. Coming outside of this area of high volume here. Can we continue this? Is going to be the question. But what's going on, people that are just hopping on? I see we got more and more people hopping on right now. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. As always, man, we're running a nice early pre-market into NYSE open stream. Seeing what we can do. Watching YM on the 15-minute chart off of the open. Seeing if we can't capture some of that mean reversion style play. I don't know that we do today, man. If we really push all the way towards the high, I'm going to be cautious. Like I said, I wouldn't mind it, but it'd be something I'd probably manage pretty aggressively. But we got a lot of divergence out of all of these US indices so far. NQ and ES selling off, red on the day. YM green on the day, pushing to the upside. Let's see. Do we get some follow through on this? I'm actually curious here. And it looks like NQ ripped right through those levels to the downside. Those got pulled. Oh, take a look at that. Those got pulled. That might have been a little bit of manipulation. Wicked aggressively lower. A lot of selling pressure in NQ here to the downside. Lot of momentum. See if we can't come back over to our good friend NQ and get cooked. Get cooked a little bit more. waiting to see where we go here on YM off of the open before coming back over to look at some aggressive momentum style trades. Let's see. Sorry to get quiet here, guys. Just kind of zoning in, trying to figure out how I want to play YM today, man. I'm actually curious to see what we got going on here. Nice crack to the upside as NQ took off like a rocket lower. ES headed lower, not as aggressively. It's flat on the day. It's right near the open. YM up 0.5% on the day, NQ down 0.5% on the day. Interesting. Curious to see if we just test up here and then we actually start to come lower, or if YM is really just going to show strength. You know, we didn't pull back a whole bunch in pre-market. We kind of just drifted lower. We did open up, you know, at VWAP, so this could be, yeah, that's a lot of strength coming in here, guys. This could be all we need to do. I'm curious to see what we got going on here. Big reversion back up out of, looks like out of NQ. Watching Bookmap on the left-hand side here. Let's take a look at YM, which I'm looking to trade. Getting up close to this same zone from yesterday, approaching yesterday's high. I don't know that I want this one short, man. I don't know that I want to play for the exact same move as yesterday. I think we may not get that. So I'm gonna stay patient on this. I'm going to stay patient on this one, guys. Let's see. Almost feels like whichever platform I use goes down. Man, Tradeovate not working. Ooh, is Tradeovate having issues? Firms reporting issue with Tradeovate. Oh, no, guys, be careful. Be careful, guys. Is Tradeovate having issues? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Login issue with NinjaTrader and Tradeovate. Be careful, guys. Looks like Ninja and Tradeovate are having issues this morning. I would be cautious. So yesterday or the day before, essentially the CME like banned a bunch of countries. At least this is the way that I understood it. The CME like banned a bunch of countries from trading, and then immediately like Tradeovate paused all of those countries' accounts or something like that. If you're from a country that's not the US, I'm wondering if that's going to be the issue, but I would be cautious, guys. Yeah, dude, crazy issues. Can't log in. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, Sam can. Wow, interesting to hear. I'm curious to hear if it's. Let me know if anybody from the U.S. is having an issue. Are you guys from the U.S. having issues? Yeah, they are. Yeah, everybody's having issues. Wow. Okay. Wow. 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 Interesting. Interesting. Zach, did you know you could enter market bracket orders, drag and drop when using Tradeovate and Tradeovate? Yeah, I did. I figured it out once I went back after everybody was asking about it and talking about it, and I made a video on it. I said I was going to post it like 2 days ago. I'm waiting for it back from my editor. I bothered him today, so hopefully I will have that posted today. But there is a setting that you can drag and drop stop loss and take profit from market orders on TradingView. Thank you so much for the simplicity. Keeping it simple. Making it hard on you. Don't trade, guys. Tradeovate having issues. Seems at the moment. I'm reading the chat, just so you know. It's not my statement. Yeah, this is interesting. A couple people announcing that it's global. CME took back that decision. That's why they're having issues. Yeah, so I'm here with you guys. I've been live for the last couple hours. I'm hanging out. I don't know what the exact answer is as to what's going on, but I do know, at least from the info that I can see right off the rip, that Tradeovate is having issues, something that's going on with a login issue. Top 1 Futures did announce to everybody we're aware of a login issue with NinjaTrader Tradeovate. We've created a PO ticket with them. Once we get confirmation, we got confirmation they are aware of the login error and are working on it to fix it. So sounds like it's at Tradeovate's level. Sounds like all prop firms are having the issue. Just based on everybody asking the same question over and over and over again. So yeah, interesting. Let me know if you guys are able to get back in, when you're able to get back in, but that sucks. That sucks. I'm assuming, I have to assume, it's tied to what they were doing today. Their start of that, like, banning everybody, banning a bunch of countries, and then taking back the decision or adjusting it. Because this is what happened when they, like, banned a bunch of countries. The CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, like, from futures, not Tradeovate exactly. But Tradeovate adjusted very quickly, and then it seems like maybe now they're adjusting again. I don't know. I could try to log into a Tradeovate account, actually. Let me just go ahead and do that. Yeah, no, I can't log in either. I can't log into any Tradeovate account. So there's that. There's that. Crazy, man. Might be time to migrate back to PJX. Yeah. The only firm that's going to offer Project X is Top Step. There was some conversation, I think, about the futures desk or whatever that other firm is that is in communication with them a lot. But I don't think so. We'll see if it becomes frequent like Project X. I don't think so. But, you know, we'll have to see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Crazy, though. Crazy to hear there's a login issue, like, right off of the open. I'm curious. Were you guys logged in before? Or, like, did this just happen where it kicked everybody out? Or were you just trying to log in and people that are logged in already can log in? Or can stay logged in? Curious. Man, why I'm doing exactly what it did yesterday. Yeah, man, pop to the upside and then is coming right back down on this. This is interesting, guys. Really interesting. We popped really aggressively to the upside, kind of like yesterday. We didn't come all the way back down to test this pre-market high. Looking at the 5-minute chart just to get a little bit more granular view. And we're pushing back off here. I don't know that I want this short. I'm kind of cautious. A crazy move out of NQ here. Big wick to the downside and then buyer stepping right back in. This is either going to be a retest of VWAP, I think, before a dump, or we come right back through the high. We also do have some news coming up at 9:45. So this is shaping up to be an interesting morning, man. Shaping up to be an interesting morning. I'm sitting patient here, still watching YM 15 minutes into the open before maybe coming back over to NQ. Looking to give myself a heart attack with you guys, trading some momentum. Seeing if we can't start cleaning up. Trading view settings, trading, yep, appearance, project, order for market orders. Yep. The funded desk, but their beta is bugging really bad. I was in at 7:30. I'm still in. Okay. Logged in. Tried to change time frame. Stuck with no data on the chart. Reloaded. Yeah, crazy, guys. Crazy. I can't believe we got more platform issues rolling. Crazy, chat. Yeah, Ninja Trader is part of trading. Is part of Tradeovate, guys. So the chances are, if Ninja Trader is having an issue, and that Tradeovate is having an issue, and vice versa. All right, 9:45 a.m. We have U.S. S&P Services Composite slash Composite PMI final. Let's see. This is not generating too much of a movement out of these markets just yet. Not too much out of this market just yet. Pop to the upside and then rejection right back down. I might just be... We didn't quite push into this zone. We didn't quite sweep prior day high. This was my level to the upside to look for a short. Like I said, if I was going to look really aggressively short on a push to the upside, this was it. So no missed trade for me, right? But we are getting that same mean reversion style play. I don't know that we follow through. I think we could continue higher here. That was, not that I trade them all in correlation, but that was an insane move out of the other U.S. indices to sell off and then start to bounce right back up. Although we are coming back down. This is NQ over here. Here's 930, really aggressive movement. Trading from the 25 high 300s all the way down to the 25 low 200s. And then pushed all the way back up. Now starting to drift back down. Do we continue this lower? Just adjusting book map on NQ a little bit. Yeah, YM pushing back up to the upside here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Someone in their Discord said Rhythmic is down as well. That's interesting. That's really interesting. If Rhythmic was having an issue, that would be really interesting to hear because they are unrelated. Slothfather, looking to see what YMs if we hit weekly VWAP at 49,305. Okay, we didn't do that. But you got long 49,688. That's paying you right now. Was logged in a trade, so haven't touched anything. Still long. Nice, dude. I think that's a nice trade. I think that's going to be a nice trade. Cyber attacks everywhere. Ducks. Well, that and the duck race. Everything else is broken. Yeah, the duck races are not broken, guys. The duck races are not broken. So we're probably going to have one of those rolling. We'll see. We'll have to see. I was thinking about trying to do something super early, but trying to get comfortable trading 47,000 different accounts and platforms and prop firms here this morning was interesting off the rip. Yeah, we'll do some more duck races coming up. So trading all the way back into this high here. testing this zone, getting a little bit of a reaction, guys. I'm staying patient on this. I don't know that I want to fade this. This was my area of interest, you know, secondary to some zones up here. We are coming right into this, and you know, if we're gonna push higher, I think we may continue. You know, opportunity for a short is coming up here, but I don't know that I want to play this. I don't know that I want to play this the same as yesterday. I just don't like this movement right off of the open up into this level. If I was gonna take it, I would have liked to see the really aggressive overshoot, you know, like even closer to the open, rather than kind of what we did here, which was push to the upside, break, and then now we're starting to grind higher. Still could come back down and test VWAP here. You know, we could completely sell off. We could be turning from the upside here really aggressively. Kind of like that volatility coming in here. 950. No, we got 10 a.m. news, not 950. We got 10 a.m. news coming up. Yeah, this is a little dicey today, guys. A little dicey today. Yeah, that might be the initial play. Kind of what it feels like. That's a pretty aggressive turn to the downside. We got some momentum on that one. I'm definitely not. I definitely wasn't sold on the short because my aggressive short would be up here. Not even halfway into this zone that I have marked, let alone my level up here. So really not a missed opportunity. But a push to the upside, and then that classic mean reversion style movement where we are coming back down towards temporary volume point of control, 49,531s. Really right back into this VWAP level here. Very similar play. This is the movement that I try to capitalize on off of the open on YM. But not enough of a pop to the upside today. Not really enough. Magic zone's working out, though. Yeah, what are we gonna do today here, guys? Like, you know, what's the play here? Are we gonna turn this to the downside and like dump? Like, is today the knife? Are we gonna test VWAP and then break back up? Is today the push off? Or are we just gonna chop around more in here? NQ looking weak, although it is around kind of the lows of this area of interest. Came all the way down to this level here through this liquidity. Looks like we want to head down towards this 25,200s level. ES looking kind of weak as well here, guys. I still think we could go either way, but NQ getting drug, man. Absolutely drug. Yeah, man. Clean bounce off of the discretionary levels for YM, but not really enough for me today, man. If I was in here with a stop loss just outside of here, would have been obviously beautiful trade in hindsight, but not enough for me. Just not enough for me. This is looking weak. By all metrics, this is looking really weak, guys. ES and NQ looking extremely weak. NQ headed all the way back down towards that low. ES looking pretty weak on a declining cumulative volume delta. YM on a declining negative cumulative volume delta. This is pretty interesting, man. Market structure fitting this as well. Pop to the upside and then back through VWAP. The others, or the other I should say, because ES is pretty flat. NQ just selling off. this could start to be this aggressive move to the downside. Well, not really what I was expecting, which can be tough to try to be quick and flexible about. But I'm gonna try to work with this, what this market's telling me here. Still early into the open. I'm gonna watch YM for a little bit longer before I hop over and see if I can't get cooked a little bit more. Trading NQ, aggressively scalping NQ. That's my game plan. We'll watch this for a little bit longer. I want to see if we bounce here and come right back through this high, or if we just start to dump. I'm really curious to see where we go here. The duck races are not broken, just my duck. That's the thing. It needs to hit one of the zones, but mission ticket. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this positively. Market gods are protecting you from blowing your accounts. Yeah. Maybe this is an enigmatic attack on the market. Wolf. Zones are baller. Really beautiful bounce off the zone. Yeah, YM is such a stepchild. 5-day VWPR zone, right where YM is now. Okay. Yeah, YM lives in its own world. It really lives in its own world. The other US indices and metals, like, I just find that YM, like, usually it kind of finds a way to correlate later into the session, but especially off the open and around high volume periods and volatility, like, it kind of just does whatever the hell it wants to do. Sometimes it's right in line, but certainly not not always. So you could use that to your advantage, maybe. I try not to trade too much correlation. I like to be aware, especially if I'm going to be hopping over to trade NQ with you guys. Yeah, YM just lives in its own world. But yeah, zone worked out really cleanly again, man. These rangy, choppy kind of levels not working too bad, man. Still being respected. Still being respected. So right back to this area of high volume. I'm curious now. I'm curious now. I feel like I might be holding on to my long bias longer than I should. I feel like we got the market, you know, showing us that it might want to move lower, and I try to be aware of that. That I was looking for longs. I came in with this long bias, and I'm cautious that I don't want to try to be too aggressively long when the market's showing some weakness. I'm waiting to see what happens down here around VWAP, because, you know, this would be more of a continuation style trade if we were not going to sell off today, but I don't want to step in front of this. I don't have a continuation to the downside trade just yet with a stop loss just above this zone. I'm kind of in wait and see mode. This structure is just not an entry for me, at least on YM just yet. But we are moving on NQ, so I'm gonna make my way over there pretty shortly. Yeah, but I'm gonna hang out with you guys. Like I said, we're gonna run these streams longer, the ones that I start early. So give me a couple minutes as we come right into 10 a.m. Let's take a quick break. I'm 2.5 hours on the stream, so I'm hanging out. I will be right back, guys. Be right back. Back in action with you guys here. Oh, we're selling off, huh? We're selling off, chat. Uh-oh. All right. If I had to run a trade here on YM, it would be a short. It would be a continuation of the downside type of a movement here. Man, I'm tempted to run this on some micros. The thesis that we just absolutely rip lower here today, that we are not going to come higher, but I think I'm just going to leave this. I think I'm going to go no trade on this account and get back to scalping on NQ. Let me go ahead and get set, man. I'm curious to see what happens here. Could just be a sweep of pre-market low, right? A return to this price level and then a pop back up, this consolidation through Asia, London. But this isn't a beautiful setup either way. This was the really aggressive, nice short trade. You know, there's the 1,500 points with 1 mini to the downside right there. Not in that, so. Let's come back over to our friend NQ. Damn, son. Let's come back over to our friend NQ. Take a look at what we got going on here. So, if you guys missed it, I'm always happy to keep it transparent. First off, you can go back and watch it, but absolutely cooked off of the open. No, absolutely cooked off the open in pre-market trading on NQ. Like I said, getting some more aggressive, for those of you guys that are on late, some more aggressive momentum style scalping done across different instruments for multiple reasons. Just to repeat this one more time. I've had a lot of consistency, swing trading, higher time frame trading, trading on YM intraday. I know for live trading, it can be somewhat boring sometimes if I don't get trades on. It can be pretty slow moving. It's also arguably not the most efficient use of time for intraday trading on the US indices. Along with that, I'd like to genuinely get the experience myself of trading momentum really aggressively across different instruments. So when we have runs like metals this year, I'm able to be more fluid and flexible to jump across these. And in order to do that, I'm going to trade on sim accounts at additional firms, including Top 1 Futures, really aggressively. That's just my own personal preference. Being aggressive as far as not taking a whole bunch of time in evals or funded accounts. That really just comes down to experience and capital allocation and preference. But for those reasons, for all of those reasons, we're going to be trading some prop accounts here. Give the people what they want. So, watching NQ really aggressively move lower. We're down below this low. Could be finding some buyers here. I'm going to try to flow with the trend a little bit better than I did this morning. But we'll see what we get here, guys. We'll see what we get here. Taking a look at current volume profile. We got our value area low up here. Obviously, VWAP up here. Volume point of control, value area high. We've sold off really aggressively. If I look at the 15-minute chart, man, you know, we are down around the lows of this recent structure back here from mid-January. Where do we go from here is questionable if we're going to continue lower. Really be coming outside of this range, man. I think we could find buyers down below this level, but it's really not how I'm going to look to trade this momentum. Man, I would love to run the 15-minute and the 1-minute side by side. I really would, but I don't have enough space for it. All right, let's see what happens down around this area of interest. I had the 25 209s marked out. We sliced through that really aggressively. This came into play pretty nicely. Was a really nicely respected area of interest. All these highs and lows. Really couldn't have put a zone there that I would have liked better. This one came into play. We got pretty close on this move to the downside. Broke below, pulling back up and retesting now. I'm curious to see where we go from here. Not gonna do anything too crazy, but again, man, my goal here is to gain more experience, building out an edge with a little bit different of an approach. You know, the basics, the fundamentals for me all remain the same. The tools of the trade that I bring to the charts, the mindset, the psychology, but trading, you know, NQ or silver or gold or oil on a low time frame, you know, more aggressively is definitely different than, you know, trading YM on a 15-minute chart, on a mean reversion style, you know, maybe also different times of the day, right? Like we were trading for pre-market today. So, low expectations, right? Keeping expectations really reasonable here. Let's see. Zones are baller. Yeah, we were talking about that. VRVP, I mean, 5 day. Oh, okay. Accidentally opened a trade on ES, took a $200 loss, got back up. Yeah, I fat fingered on one of my accounts this morning as well. I'm gonna short on MES from 69.46. Nice, trailed out 30 points. Caught a nice short too. Bouncing up from here, took some profits. Seems like Tradeovate is back. Okay, you guys got Tradeovate back online. Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're getting an aggressive bounce on this one, man. Whoa, that's not what I want to go to. Aggressive bounce. YM looking much choppier. Tested all the way down to this open, this pre-market low, after pushed in the upside and now coming all the way back through VWAP. This is looking pretty aggressive here, guys. Waiting for a little bit of structure to form here and decide if I want to play the higher time frame trend against the lower time frame trend, which would be breaking down below this level, sweeping this low, finding buyers here, and pushing back up to the upside pretty aggressively. This is moving somewhat fast. Where's my ATR? There we go. Start to measure out ATR here. And I'm going to pull the same move, still executing on a separate screen as I'm cycling through some different accounts to trade on with you guys. But I will mark out exactly where my entry ends up, my take profit, my stop loss level, and we'll watch it play out in real time. I'm going to continue trading on a 50K, trading on 50K multiple funded accounts. I'll let you know if I hop over to an eval or something like that. Breaking and retesting this level, finding buyers. Yeah, this is not super slow. This is definitely not super slow. Or maybe at least for what I'm used to. I don't know what NQ's average range is off of the open traditionally, but I don't think this is super duper slow moving price action for NQ. Want to see if we get another test of this level, maybe just like a clean out move to the downside to look for a potential long. If your play is short, if you're like, hey, you know what, we sold off all day. Zach, you're an idiot. You tried longs twice already. We sold off the open. We retested VWAP. We sold off. We're just going to continue lower. If you're, if you're looking for the short, I think the time is coming up. I'm looking for, staying patient first, but I'm looking for either a pullback down, like into this area here, into this price action market structure, maybe pop stops right in here, take out some more liquidity. One more kind of fake out move to the downside, and then for buyers to step back in to try to rip this thing higher, to see if we're actually going to catch a little bit of a reversion move here out of NQ. But I'm not going to do anything too crazy immediately. Let you guys know as soon as I am executing. But I would like to get a couple trades on, if for nothing else, just to try structuring risk here. Yeah, there we go. I'm in long on this one, guys. I'm in long on this one. Stop's going to go right below this low. I'm long from 25, 235, 50. These are going to be potentially fast moving. Pretty potentially fast moving. That's exactly what I was waiting for to happen. But let's go without messing this up too much. Low risk. Again, something that I'm willing to take multiple L's on, right? Something that I'm comfortable taking, 4 or 5 trades, right? Before I'm at risk of digging myself too much of a hole in the day. 25, 235, 50. As we come back down. Hold on. I'm not going to be able to be fast enough on this. 25, 235, 50 was the actual entry on this one. Stop loss is down here. Looking for a move back towards VWAP. Let me actually throw my exact stop loss level on here. 5-1. Where's my actual stop loss number? 25. Let's see what we get here. Again, guys, starting small. These are trades I wouldn't mind adding into. No fixed take profit on this one as I'm usually running. I'd like to see a move back towards VWAP. Again, pretty aggressive. Trading some momentum here, guys. Trading some high volatility. Want to get comfortable executing pretty quickly on here. Again, this is based off the higher time frame coming... Uh-oh, Project X. Coming all the way down lower here, right? Really aggressively sweeping this low. Kind of like what I was shooting for off the open. Hasn't worked for me just yet. Really aggressive buy back up from buyers down here. I'm looking for a reversion back up towards VWAP here. Again, not a fixed take profit, just an arbitrary level there. But that's my actual entry. See if we can't catch a little bounce. We did what I was looking for. One more really aggressive clean out move to the downside, and then a quick pop back up. But something I'd look to hold, yeah, probably like all the way back up here for a nice potential W. Maybe even something I would consider adding into and reducing risk on. We'll just have to see how this starts to play. Conversely, if you're just looking to trade the lower time frame trend and just immediately get short on pullbacks off of structure, that would be your play to do that. To really go, really just get short on NQ, opposite direction that I'm trading on here. But we'll see. We'll take some scalpy trades. We'll see if I can't go an unreasonable amount of small scalp losses on this first round. Happy to do it, man. Happy to show you what real trading looks like for me. Wins, losses, losing streaks, winning streaks, building out new edges, building discretion, getting comfortable, scalping across different instruments. All of that fun stuff live. Let's see. Let's take a look back at YM, man. YM. Interesting here, guys. You know, this is my bread and butter for those of you guys that are new, that you're not usually hanging out on here. I'm typically trading YM off of the open on the 15-minute chart. We got this really clean, aggressive, mean reversion style play that I do look for. Came all the way back down. That presented the nice opportunity off the morning. But now, this was looking really weak as we came lower. We found buyers here, and we've bounced. Now we have traded, 300 points off of the low of session. That's looking really like bulls are making a case. I don't know that we break out today. Like, I don't know if today is the day that we do it. I don't know that we just have to come up here again and chop around, or if this is just a quick bounce before we aggressively move lower, right? If it's going to be a push up, sell off, pull back, and then this is going to be just a super duper aggressive push lower. Gonna have to wait to see on that one. NQ, not playing nice with me so far. Selling back off here. Not getting the bounce that I wanted to see. Here's the trade from the 1 minute. Zoom out so we can catch this. Not getting the bounce we can see so far. Let's see. Let's see if I can't get some motion on NQ today. Again, low risk, especially, I'm trading micros here, guys. Low risk, especially with the volatility kicking up for NYSE Open. Trading multiple minis on NQ right into the open, I think is a dangerous game. I think it can present a lot of upside opportunity, but it could easily cook you in funded accounts. Easily cook you in funded accounts. But I'm going to hang with you guys. We're into NYSE Open. I'm about... How long on this stream? I'm almost 3 hours on this stream. I'm going to hang with you guys probably until about the 11 o'clock time frame. That's my game plan. Take a couple trades through NYSE Open on NQ. See what I can or can't make happen. Yeah, just to pre-plan this potential add-in, if we start to push back through the high, and when we build some structure here, I may look to add and manage risk. I may look to add to this trade and manage risk by adding to my winner and dragging stop loss up. Not just yet. Not just yet. I think we could see one more really aggressive wick to the downside that I'm not sure that I'm going to survive, to be completely honest, based on where my stop is right now. But if we start to get this momentum to the upside, I'm going to add into this and drag stop loss up. Start to trail the stop loss. Yeah, I'm adding into this one, guys. I am adding into this bad boy, and stop loss is getting drug up. I want to see this move to the upside now, or just come down and take me out. I want to see this break here and move quickly to this next area of high volume. Would potentially be looking to take profit somewhere in here. Now that I have an add-in, what's the actual stop loss size? Let's see if I can do this quick enough with you guys. This is the problem with executing on a separate screen. Let's see. Seller stepping back in, trying to bring it lower. I gotta stop at... I'm gonna go stop at 160. Trying to account for this amount of volatility and not run too tight of an unreasonable stop here. But I'd like to see this thing push higher. That was his chance to break to the upside. Seller still defending that level. We got to come lower. I'm going to be cooked on this one. I think a stop loss way, way, way outside of here would be super clean. But I'm going to have to run mine a little bit tighter. A little bit tighter in here. I want to see us I want to see us break to the upside and continue, or come down, take me out. I'll take another stab. If we start to break lower really aggressively, I could consider it. But ooh. Buyer's gonna try it, man. Back and forth choppy at this level. The buying looks aggressive, though. Buying looks aggressive, man. There we go. Starting to get a pop to the upside on this bad boy. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this. I'd be looking realistically right into the 40s. I think this would be pretty clean for a move to the upside. I think this would be a nice movement. Maybe even the 50s. I'd have to see what happens as we start to come higher. Yeah, I'll have this set up tomorrow so I can just execute with you guys live here. But this is the actual entry, dead set. 25, 235. No, 235.75. Sorry, that's the exact entry. 25, 235.75. Oh, because I added in. So that's my average entry now. That's my average entry in because I had an add in here on the way back up. Let's see. I'm going for this, again, higher time frame play, right? Kind of with this higher time frame movement, sweeping this low, coming back up to this area of high volume. I think I missed the opportunity off the open to flow with this to the downside, right? Breaking lower, retesting VWAP really aggressively. I think taking shorts in here and riding this thing lower would have played really nicely. Fading this trade by taking a short on the retest of this level for a push back down really would not have played too nice, at least so far. So let's see what happens if we can get up near VWAP. I may look to take this bad boy off, catch a little W, but I'm gonna try to hold on to my winners. Let's see. Hanging on to this one for now. Not quite at VWAP yet. Got some sellers that stepped in right as we cracked higher. This could just be a really big retest before we aggressively come back down. Close. Let's see. Sellers stepping back in. Do they want to rip the face off right back down to the downside? Gave us 65 points in profit. Not quite enough for me to want to grab it. I was waiting for right in here to VWAP. Like I said, if we started to get a little bit closer to VWAP, I'd look to take it off. Let's see what the market's got for me today, man. Let's see what the market's got for me. Come on, bro. Don't mess with me now. Oh, aggressively coming back down, man. Showed me a little bit of profit on that one. Not quite enough for me to want to grab it. I'd love to see a retest of this level and then a rip right back through that high towards VWAP. That would look really clean. Losing faith as we come back down towards entry here and potentially lower. I think we could easily see a wick down to take everybody out like me that got long on this for a push back up before we continue higher, or just aggressively rip lower. Again, won't be done after this one. Taking a higher frequency of trades. Not gonna need much to work out in my favor to end up on top here. But so far, this one is not working with me. Really not working with me again. Let's see. Let's see. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always, man. Thanks for being here. If you guys, I didn't do any plugs really at all today. Hang on one second. Mostly because we've been trading, man. Getting some trades in, having some fun. If you guys want to check out Top 1 Futures, they are still running a 60% off deal. 60% off all accounts with code RDF. Supports me, supports yourself, support the stream. Do whatever you want to do, but whatever you do, recognize that I'm partnered, I'm affiliated. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased because I stand to make money. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Let's go ahead and throw links in chat if you guys want to check it out. There we go. There we go. As this trade is all the way back to break even, man, I really don't like this this action that we got going on here. Not exactly what I'd like. I'm gonna hold on to this one. I do like to hold on to my trades. For those of you guys that know, I'm a holder over a clipper. I don't like the action that we got. I think we could see a really aggressive sweep lower here on NQ before we potentially continue higher, or before we potentially continue lower. I hate how aggressively we turned. Really close to giving me a take profit. Again, this is not a fixed take profit. This was really the level I was looking at, right into the 20s as we were getting ready to test VWAP. Very, very close. It edged me on this one. Gave me a wick, maybe 20 points off of where I'll be looking to take a take profit after making it 70 points, about 70 points in profit. Not working with me just yet, though, man. Not working with me just yet. I think this is going to be lights out on this one. I think this might be lights out on this one, man. I think it might be 0 for 3 to start out. We're going to keep going. We'll see how many I can go. We'll see if I can go 0 for a million with you guys. Now at this point, just to give you guys a heads up, now at this point, since we cracked lower multiple times, found sellers, if I survive whatever the hell this is, which I'm not too confident that I will, and we continue higher, this could be something that I hold on to for a longer period. But this is looking like lights out. This is looking like lights out for me. But we're fixing to find out, as they say in the South. Fixing to find out. Oh, chat. Chat. I'll give you, what does it say? Trade is easy, TP hit. Yeah, maybe, we'll see. Overall confidence is 90%. What a trade. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. Nice trade, but I think you should have waited for higher low to form on the 1 minute. Maybe. Always going to be a way to do something differently that's going to generate a better or a worse entry and risk management, right? Have a good day, bro. Thank you for what you do. Trade safe. You know it, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate for hopping on, man. Selling pressure. Less than speaking. Oh, we got somebody talking. We got a Fed member talking. Does Zach just say the SL was drug up? DLL had the short, was too early, got wicked out for DLL for it to play out frustrated, but that's what it is. Yeah, Nate. Part of the game, man. Part of the game. Trader and Ninja Trader are fairly back. They apparently hit a block, interestingly. NQ Violent on the 1 minute. I use MFI, ADX, 15-minute RSI. Nice, man. Nice, nice, nice. Seems like Trader is back. Cool. Trader back up. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. We got NQ pushing lower. Showed me about 70 points of profit on this one. Not quite enough to take it. Whoa. Not quite enough to take it. Coming back down towards the lows. I got a feeling that we don't continue lower today and that this stops me out and then we crack to the upside. That's what I got a feeling. I'm going to look for probably one more before I call it myself. I'm going to look for one more before I go 0-4 and on scalping NQ and say that's enough, that I'd have an unreasonably low win rate to continue to try my hand at scalping the morning. So far, they've been 3 longs, all 3 looking like they are going to be full stop outs. In by the skin of my teeth on this one, but I do not expect to survive it. A couple points off of NQ is really not much. Yeah, Bears winning on this one today. Bears taking the W. YM back down. Yeah, YM back down, looking like it wants to sell off. Yep. YM turning to the downside here, at least for now. Still respecting this this zone. Broke the high. Broke our... Yeah, it didn't break out of the initial balance high, but broke the high, coming back down. NQ giving me my 3rd stop out of the morning. Beautiful, man. Beautiful price action. Yeah, back and forth down here, but downtrend prevailing, man. Downtrend really off of the open prevailing. All I had to do was hit the sell button today, and I found myself continuing to hit the buy button. No regrets, spelled the wrong way. No regrets, spelled the wrong way. I'm going to hang out with you guys. I said till about 11. I'm going to keep looking to trade. I'm going to keep racking up data and see if I can't go for an unreasonable amount of losses on NQ with you guys. Gnarly start, though. Gnarly start to scalp in NQ here for pre-market and into the open. Super gnarly. But, like I said, low risk, man. Giving myself the ability to take on multiple trades in these accounts before I run myself into trouble. You know, part of starting small in sim accounts, I think it's a smart move to do for anybody looking to work on building out a new edge, trading different instruments, trading different times of the day, trading slightly different styles. But so far, continuing lower on NQ, or at least getting ready to try to push this low. Let's see. Yeah, still no trade in the Top 1 Futures live account on YM. Again, not something that I'd like to be doing in the Top 1 live account. Certainly not just yet. Man, rolling over and just continuing lower here on NQ. YM up above VWAP. showing 0.5% green on the day. ES back down around the lows. Interesting, man. Let's see what NQ's got for us the rest of the session here. Let's see what NQ's got for us the rest of the session. And while I'm waiting to see if I can catch... Volatility coming in here, 1038. Big crack back up after getting near the lows here. Oh. Let's see if we just go rip right through a take profit level. Yep. NQ low time frames. How I've missed you, my friend. How I've missed you, NQ. Let's see. Definitely some volatility coming in. I know somebody mentioned that we got some speakers talking. That could be providing some volatility here. Let's see. Seller's not wanting to give this up just yet. One more clean out move before we come back down and break the lows. Just the classic take everybody out, or do we actually continue higher on this one now? Not quite breaking the low, not enough for me to survive it where my stop loss was, but now NQ trying to push back up. This would be a beautiful double bottom if we actually did this here. Call me crazy, guys. I'm eyeing out a fourth long. Unfortunately, I think this one's going to rip without me. Really aggressive buying pressure off of this low. Seller's unable to take it lower. What I was trying to get in here for, looked like we needed to clean everybody out one more time. Pull this crazy wiki back and forth movement. And either I'm not running wide enough stops or my entries are just not precise enough. But I think we run back up to this area of high volume back above VWAP. If we don't and we sell straight off the low, I think we got a chance to break lower and really start to melt. But man, that was some aggression off of that low. Immediately popped right back up to the upside. Seller's not quite giving it up just yet. Let's see. Again, I like this higher time frame level down here for a potential area of support, which is why I'm really interested again in trying this thing long. But I think I'd have to. I think I'd really have to run this one wide, and I don't know that I want to do that. Otherwise, I'd run it right in here. I'm going to keep myself out of this one, but I like this long. This is what I'm eyeballing. I'm not going to take this, but I like this long. Really aggressive. I think if we sell back off all the way down towards these lows, we're coming through the bottom. I think we got a chance to make this run all the way back up here near these opening highs, but I'm not going to take it. It's just too wicky back and forth. It looked really good in here, took the L. This looked aggressively lower, like we were moving lower. This is looking like we were aggressively moving higher. So we got some back and forth price action. I'm going to opt to keep myself just a little bit more patient to see if I can capture at least one W on here with you guys. I'm not even beating a coin flip at the moment. So let's see if we can get there. Let's see what we can do. Charts looking gross. Very choppy. VIX is like a candy cane up and down. Got you. Dang, I did not take low and pumped with this right out of opening price. I feel maybe London close at 45 will bring clarity. We do have our initial balance high and low set, which we can mark out here. I think if we break the low on ES, I'll take short. Sure. Your setup was said it was A+. Market doesn't always favor us. Yeah. Yeah. No. I like all three trades that I took. If you go back and watch, I took 2 L's in pre-market. I like all 3 trades that I took. I will say I'm gonna have to review and think about fading the lower time frame trend if we're just kind of drifting lower in pre-market, maybe into the open. I'm a little bit counter to that. Maybe I'm weighting higher time frame zones a little bit too heavily, but I like a long off of value area low, back to volume point of control, back to VWAP on something like NQ. Excuse me, yeah, something like NQ. I like a really aggressive sweep of a low like we saw here, and then buyer stepping right back in for a run back up towards an area of high volume. This one got real close. Showed me some nice profit, but just not quite enough to grab it. Back down to stop at break even on that one would have definitely helped me. Back down to stop me, and now kind of just chopping up here. So this is looking like we wanted to like bottom out here and run back up. Just reading price action and market structure from a discretionary viewpoint. But I'm also cautious that we just dumped today. I don't know that we do. And again, probably carrying too much of a long bias. Just looking for us to not sell off completely. But we shall see. Had a nice short going on ES low of day VWAP. Breakout that just took me out for 237. Nice. Very nice. I think we break the low on ES. I'll take the short. Yeah, we're talking about that. Staying out of this barcoding chart. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Here we go. Back down around the low. Part of the game. Absolutely. We down 1%. Huh, did not feel it though. Yeah. How do you track journal after trying to approach? Yeah, how do I track journal? For the most part, guys, what I really like to do at this stage, I think if you're just starting out, I think journaling every single trade is really important. Even if you're struggling with your process at all or kind of, still just inconsistent, I think journaling every single trade is important. For me personally, at this stage, what I really prefer to do is to just do a write-up where I sit down in front of my computer and I write out, how the day went in general. I talk about the trades that I took. I kind of review them in that just overview type of a way. And then, from there, and that's a lot of more reflection on the discretion that I'm applying, the emotion, my control of risk, right? Maybe it's a little higher level, but that's where I find a lot of, value from journaling, both articulating it, just the process of doing it, and then reviewing. And then what I really like to do on a trade-by-trade basis is these like larger sit-down reviews once a week, once every couple weeks, definitely once a month. Throw executions on the chart, right? Review every day for whatever instrument I was trading. It's been YM, very low frequency for futures, which has been pretty easy to do. But same thing for like swing trading, stocks and options. go back and do a big review, right? What was the reasons for entry? Why did you enter? You know, what did your day look like, right? And you have a write-up from your day. And how did you execute, right? Did you execute according to your plan? And then how did that work out? You know, what's working, what's not working? You could also go back in and just kind of review your stats in general, throw executions on a chart. But for the most part, I think if you're not going to use a trade journaling app like TradeZella that automatically does it, for beginners or for anybody trading that's not even close to gaining some consistency, you need to be journaling every trade, and it can be done with a screenshot on your chart of a position tool, simple write-up of what happened, hopefully a screenshot after so you can see what the market did after. And that in itself, along with whatever data you're going to get from whatever prop firm or platform you're trading with, is a ton of information to work with. So I think that is, you know, that's a very helpful bit of journaling that everybody could do. Yeah, pretty choppy down here. I don't know. I'm carrying a long bias, so I don't know that I want to try this again. But you guys have been hanging out. If you've been on here the whole time, thanks for hanging out, man. This is a nice, long, fun stream. I would have loved to say I cleaned up for pre-market and NYSE Open on NQ, but I certainly did not. Part of the game, man. I'm happy to talk about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and show you wins and losses in real time, right? I think there's a lot of value in doing that. I think you guys are going to see from me. And I'm not going to talk crazy or arrogantly as I've taken some losses and I'm going to end a red session here. You're going to see some big wins from me this year. You're going to see some nice payouts across multiple firms, hopefully. You're going to see some profit in live accounts. I'm more than happy to show you what the process of getting there looks like. It looks like today. It looks like today. It looks like, you know, sometimes big losses, larger size losses as you scale up. That's part of the game. It's part of the game. I know most traders don't like to do that. They like to show you a 90+% win rate and $1 million made and no no losses, all wins, man. But I'm happy to show you the losses because it makes me feel good to share those wins. It makes me feel good to share some W's, like I was doing yesterday. But since you guys hung out so nicely here, I think you know what time it is. I'm not even going to ask for likes. I'm not going to ask for subscriptions. I'm not going to ask for nothing. Guess what, guys? In the main chat, in Discord, a form has just dropped. We're going to run a giveaway. We got a giveaway for a 50K Ignite instant funded account from Top 1 Futures in the main chat in Discord. Go ahead and get it filled out. You don't have to fill it out more than one time. Is it open? Hang on, hang on. Yeah. You don't have to fill it out more than one time. In fact, please don't fill it out more than one time. Only thing that's going to do is get you banned. I'm going to give you guys about 3 or 4 minutes to get this filled out. Go ahead and get this one filled out, guys, and we will run a duck race. Remember, link is pinned to the top of the chat if you're not in Discord. Also, if you don't want to wait to win a giveaway, I'm going to throw this in here as well. You guys can go ahead and check out Top 1 Futures yourself. They are 60% off your first or next account with Tradeovate. One of the best deals in the instant funding space, in my humble, biased opinion. Feel free to check it out. Link is in the chat, guys. Remember, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money. I repeat that a lot, but I think it's important. Can't be unbiased. Do your own research, make your own decisions. I will be right back as you guys are getting the form filled out, and then we'll run some ducks. All right, guys. Giveaway form is live in the chat. Give you another minute or so to get this one filled out. And again, guys, I appreciate you for hopping on, man. Awesome live session despite getting absolutely smoked on NQ. Like I said, low expectations. I think I actually said word for word, I fully expect to take some L's and get smoked as I get comfortable working on something that I'll be working on for a while. Something I'm really going to be working on for a while, which is being able to move between instruments, specifically lower time frames, to be looking to trade momentum, aggressive momentum. Again, not doing it in a live account, not doing it in a prop firm live account, not doing it in accounts that I don't want to potentially lose, right? Or I don't want to potentially lose money in. Otherwise, you should just be on demo. But for me, that risk tolerance is like still super aggressive in a prop firm, eval or prop firm funded account. Even trading micros, if you're going to trade multiple times per day, I'd say that's pretty aggressive. Like, I'm not going to hold on to accounts very long, but I'll get paid, as I go and as I get to develop a more aggressive approach, right? And something that I'd like to do. I'd like to do live with you guys. Going to be doing a lot off of stream as well, but happy to bring some of it live for pre-market as well, man. All right, guys, form is going to be getting turned off right now. Ton of responses on here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Appreciate you guys. Y'all are awesome. We are going to do the duck race. Duck race is running. Let's get ready to run it. All right, we have 95 ducks in a row. Nice, nice, nice. 95 ducks in a line. Let's go ahead and run it. Remember, guys, this is for a 50K Ignite instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. If you win, you have to be on the live stream, as it says on that screen that I put up there and on the form that you filled out. You have to be here to claim it, especially if I don't know you from a hole in the wall. Account will come straight from Top 1 Futures after the stream if you win to the email that you provided. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody. Thank you, Zach. I like this PM stream heading into the open. Can clearly see thought process, what you're looking at on the charts. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, guys, I'm going to be doing this more. So just so you know, I'm going to be streaming 7:30 a.m., at least for now, 7:30 a.m. all the way through NYSE Open. This week, because I got a couple days off. I got a cool trip coming up. I got some fun stuff going on off the desk, off the charts. This week, tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. start time. No stream Friday, no stream Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, 7:30 a.m. start time. If you guys want all of the updates, the info, you want to, know when we're running giveaways, when we're trading live, when we're doing everything, here is the link to check that out. 100% free trading Discord. Everything's free 99, just so you guys know. I don't have a course, I don't have a VIP. I'm partnered and affiliated with brands that I use myself, that I believe in, that pay me on the back end, and I like that mutually beneficial relationship, especially because I disclose it aggressively. But I'm free 99. No course, no VIP, no special tool to make $1 zillion where all you have to do is send me $100 in crypto, and then I never talk to you again. No, none of that stuff, man. Let's see who's gonna take this one. Sloth Father stopped out on the first trade, re-entered YM, close to VWAP, got 400 bucks profit. Nice. Very nice, man. Very nice. Let's see, 38 seconds to go. Who's going home with an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures? Let's see, chat. Let's see. Miss Venture down on the bottom. Miguel Carrera funded in the middle. Pro Trader Rob. Harsh up top. Pro Trader making his way all the way out front. Mahajan, I can't pronounce any of your guys' names. I'm so sorry. Dwayne, I can handle Dwayne. I think that's how you pronounce it. Pro Trader hitting a stop loss. Michelle Mitch or Mitchell Mitch making a run. Maritime Trader. Maritime Trader taking the W on this one. This is somebody who's in the Discord, in the live streams. I know he's here. We got W's in the chat for Is it Maritime? Maritimes Trader? Awesome. You are the winner of an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Let me go ahead and mark this one out. Nice, man. Nice. Awesome. Remember, guys, if you didn't win today, you can win tomorrow. We run these giveaways almost every damn day here on the live streams, 100% free. No courses, no VIPs, none of that fun stuff, man. Just real live trading, showing you what that looks like for me. Wins and losses like today. Wins and losses like today. And at the 11 o'clock time frame, man, got the giveaway in, got a bunch of trading in, got to watch pre-market all the way into the open. I'm going to call it, at least for me, for right now. I'm not looking to keep scalping this market. Obviously, market's not agreeing with me. I don't have anything clean outside of maybe just starting to short this thing now. But I'm not going to try my hand any further. On the Top 1 live account, not taking anything on YM at the moment. I'll try to let you guys know in Discord if I'm taking something that's going to be a higher time frame trade, something I can call out, stops, entries, targets on. Outside of that, I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. See you in Discord. Outside of that, and across socials, Real Deal Zach on IG and X. Quick disclaimer, guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop from accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer, this is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. Appreciate you guys hopping on. See you in Discord. See you right here tomorrow.